coming together again, bigger and stronger. Gforce International. Man, these are exciting days, and today is going to be one of the most exciting days we've had so far. I want to welcome, Marcy and I truly want to welcome everybody in all of our offices. We have people gathering in offices. We have people gathering in homes all over North America right now. It looks like from latest count that we're going to have well over 2,000 people viewing this broadcast today. And so I couldn't be more excited. I want you to be ready, get prepared, because I really believe that some special things are going to happen today. Some things are going to be said, some things are going to be taught that will really transform you. So I want you to be ready for that. And Marcy, you know, we have something a little different, right? I mean, how do you like these T-shirts?
I like them, honey. I like them. And you know what's really awesome is this is an anniversary.
Yeah.
Because it was almost exactly 2 years ago that Gforce was created.
I remember that.
It was a memorable time for us and memorable time for a lot of our teammates that were around back then. But we have a lot of new teammates now.
Yes, we do.
Unbelievable number of new teammates. And we are talking to y'all today. We want to sell this opportunity and this dream for you so you do not miss out on this amazing company and what it can do for you and your family.
Yeah, Marcy, it seems like yesterday that we went to a senior leadership meeting where Glenn introduced the whole concept of the Circle of Champions, and we had a decision to make if we were going to come together as a team like never before so we can do that. Matter of fact, Marcy, I brought this with us. This is the actual slide that Glenn put out in front of us that caused me to move in this direction in a big way. It's called Teams That Are Transformed When You Surge. And any team that's going for a big goal, everybody on the team always gets better. When I saw that, I knew that we didn't have a choice, right? We had to go for it, and history was made. And that's how Gforce was created. So this is our third Gforce Virtual Leadership Summit, right? And it's going to be an incredible one. So I want you to get focused. Now, here's my challenge to you, Gforce. I want you to focus with us now for the next 210 minutes. 210 minutes. That's all we need. I want you to be prepared. I want you to be totally focused. And I need you to be absolutely present, okay? Because no distractions. Just focus for 210 minutes of your life. Here's the deal. It has been said many times that big decisions are made at big events. Well, folks, normally, you know, this is all virtual here, right? We're in the year of the pandemic now. We're going to share with you exactly what we've done during that year. But so this is virtual. Normally, we'd be in thousands of people in a big ballroom, and it's easy to keep focused. Well, now, it's a little bit more disciplined, but it's only 210 minutes, 3.5 hours. It has the potential to change your life, and more importantly, change the people on your team's lives too. So I want you to be ready and stay focused with me. This can be that moment, right, Mark?
A transformational moment, but y'all do. And it's easy sometimes in your home or your office where you don't have a lot of people around to get distracted more easily. And so you focus, take notes.
Different discipline on this.
Really pay attention to what our amazing teammates are going to share with you today.
So we got a lineup for you like nobody's business. One of the things you need to understand, especially you new people, okay, Primerica is the disrupting machine to the largest industry in the world. You understand that. We're involved in rearranging and disrupting the financial services industry. And by doing that, we're going to continue to bring more financial freedom to more families than any other company ever has. That's what you're a part of today. And we just finished a miraculous year. I mean, we've had the pandemic hit us, but we were able to pivot. And we didn't become just an essential business, folks. We became a critical business to consumers all over North America, and we proved it. And had a chance to be on with Glenn Williams and just a couple days ago, and boy, we're declaring some big time stuff's going to happen this year that you want to be a part of. First and foremost, the March to 1 billion, folks. Just a month from now, Glenn Williams is predicting that this will be the first time ever that we will go over the $1 billion cash flow mark. What does that mean? That means that this company is going to pay out $1 billion of commissions and bonuses to their advisors all over North America. Folks, that's never happened in the history of business, and it's never happened in the history of Primerica for sure. I mean, this is how these years have stacked up to come to this very moment right now. In January and December of 2020, we paid out $970 million. And then in February, we jumped from 971 to 981. And then in March to February, it's 994 million. So after February, we're going to come in at about 994 million, and it looks like we're going to bust over the $1 billion mark. I never thought I would see that happen, Marcy. That's just absolutely unbelievable. And with that, though, Gforce, this Gforce team is a major part of that movement. And that's what I want everybody to understand, especially you new people, the team that you're a part of, the leadership you're a part of. I started telling you before, the actual speakers that you're going to hear from today, these speakers, the average income to them, not including our $1 million earners, we took that out. We took Sam Shepard's income out of that, is $531,000 a year. Now, a lot of you people say, man, that's just a lot of money. You know, I want you to understand, these people, the reason why they're making that kind of money is because it's directly related to the families that they are helping financially. So you get to hear, there's not another speaker's agenda anywhere in Primerica that has this kind of income to their speakers. So you better listen and listen hard. And this is why. Look what Gforce was up to in 2020, okay? If you look at this, you compare 2019 to 2020, again, year of a pandemic, year of unrest like never before, political unrest in the streets, and a pandemic on top. Look what has happened. From 2019 to 2020, we grew 41% in recruiting. Our recruiters recruited like you can't believe to bring more people in this business. That's an extra 4,700 brand new recruits that are getting licensed right now, getting trained right now for their next promotion. Folks, that's absolutely incredible. And then if you look at our premium now, again, in the middle of a pandemic, we grew 31%, Marcy, in premium. We went from 15.5 million in premium in 2019 to 20 million plus in 2020. Folks, that's an extra close to $5 million of premium we put on the books that represents billions of dollars of face amount in pure term insurance for our clients. And then look at securities. You'd think securities would be off. No, we're investing the difference like crazy for our clients, up 7% in securities. We went from 476 million to over $500 million. And this is all of Gforce now, folks. All three of my code numbers, all through 6th generation, right? This is everybody, Ali and free. That's up $32 million from 2019. And then it all boils down to Team Cash, right? This is how much income was paid out to all of our advisors and reps in Gforce International. You know, in 2019, Marcy, our team, they were paid over $44 million in cash flow because of their efforts. 2020, $53.4 million, folks. And while everybody else is shutting down, we're reaching out, right? I mean, we're blowing this thing up, and we paid an extra $8.8 million of compensation to Gforce in 2020 over the year before. Folks, that's absolutely astounding, okay? And so great things going on, and I am so excited to to get this day started. Darlene, I think we got one other slide I want to pop up there, and we're going to do that before recognition then? Okay, we'll do that before recognition. We got some fun stuff going on, so I'll tell you what, without further ado, we're going to get this speaker's agenda going. The first speaker today from Denver, Colorado is one of our $1 million earners, and that's the great Mark Penny. Mark has over 18 regional vice presidents. Mark has been one of the company MVPs year after year, obviously a $1 million earner, and he has some powerful things to share from you from Denver, Colorado. Again, so you take your notes on this one, folks. A lot of information on building distribution, and that's why the people are making the money that they're making right now. They're keying in on distribution, so take it away.
Hey, welcome Gforce. Excited about today, what I'm going to be sharing with you. And we're going to talk a little bit about Primerica, the uniqueness And you think about it, Primerica, what's unique about it? And I would say that probably the biggest thing is our model. It's built on the idea of distribution. We talk about that all the time. We're in financial services, but we're more about distribution. And the reward is in building a distribution model. When I think of distribution, there's one company that comes to mind right on the front, Amazon. Now, whether you like them or whether you don't, the numbers speak for themselves. I did some research. Listen to this. Each month, 197 million people visit their website. Over 350 million items for sale on Amazon. 410 million in sales each day. Okay. Second $1 trillion company, 1 month behind Apple achieving it. This one blew me away. 52% of all e-commerce is through Amazon. 52%. So how are they doing it? And I'll tell you this, my research shows me it's not what you'd think it would be. We take a look at Amazon. No products of their own, started an online bookstore back in 1995. Today has created the wealthiest man in the world, Jeff Bezos. What are they doing to grow distribution? You'd think that they'd have it. Like, wow, we're there. No, okay, things are changing. It says here in the article, Amazon is chasing growth and shifting resources to what's called third-party sellers. I didn't even realize they had this. Amazon's responding to a wake-up call. The retail company makes more money letting other people sell to customers on its marketplace than it does selling to customers itself. I want you to have that sink in. Why are they shifting to what they call the 3P marketplace? Okay, Jeff says here, last month, third-party sellers made up a bigger share of the sales in Amazon's marketplace than Amazon itself, which also benefits Amazon. Their strategy has shifted. Okay, so we want to grow distribution. Maybe we ought to take a look at the #1 distribution company in the world and what they're doing if their strategy has shifted. Okay, it says here in the article, main feature Amazon. On another level is the multi-level e-commerce strategy that it employs, okay, by having other businesses inside of their business. Amazon has over 1 million new sellers this year. Okay, new people selling on their marketplace. We take a look at 3.3 million new sellers have joined Amazon worldwide. It's equivalent to 3,718 new sellers every single day we've got. Top 5 reasons for selling on Amazon. We thought our competition might be another financial service company or another direct sales or another opportunity. Take a look at this. Top 5 reasons for selling on Amazon. #1, new employment. Quote here, I want time and financial freedom. I also want to earn money and pay debts and student loan. 43% of the reasons why people are selling on Amazon. #2, flexible work. I've always wanted to be self-employed and financially free. #3, curiosity. I'm a homeschooling mom who wants to help boost our household income. #4, growing a business. I was retired and wanted something to do to keep me occupied and learn new skill at the same time. And last, additional income. People want to earn supplemental income to enrich their lives. Sound familiar? Okay. This is Amazon. Okay, this is not Primerica. This is Amazon. Why people are selling on Amazon. Diverse. There's no single type of Amazon seller. Amazon sellers represent a wide range of skill sets, background, and characteristics. Okay, this was very interesting. Small to medium-sized businesses that brought in 100,000 through Amazon reached nearly 200,000 businesses. Okay, 25,000 small to mid-sized businesses broke over 1 million in sales just on the Amazon platform. Okay, what are they looking for? What is Amazon looking for? Entrepreneurs to build their businesses. Third-party sales will likely account for nearly 70% of Amazon's profits over the next 4 years. 70%. Simply, Amazon has simply realized it can make more money letting other people sell, okay, to customers on its marketplace instead of selling to customers itself. So what's my takeaway from that? Number one is distribution is key. Your platform and system, it must be duplicatable for success. Okay, what has Amazon done? They obviously had success in their platform, but now they've built that platform to be able to duplicate what success they've had with businesses that range from all different areas. Growth by growing other successful businesses. Okay, they're not so concerned about how much they're selling. They can work the multiples when they have other businesses selling their products as well. It's a building versus selling strategy. Okay, they're not trying to sell more themselves. They're what? Building out other successful businesses. So they've decided to support the growth of other businesses. Businesses of all sizes and shapes. Okay. System accommodates them all. And businesses within a business entrepreneurial spirit. What if we saw it like Art Williams saw it? What if we spent our time building successful systems and training great leaders to build huge businesses? Kind of what it sounds like Amazon's doing right now, finding businesses, helping them grow, be successful, and then benefiting from it because they've created the system and the structure. See, what does our message and focus need to be? And you need to ask yourself, I need to ask myself. Obviously, it's recruiting and development. Starts with having independent reps. In my book, an independent rep can develop what? A client. Next, you've got independent leaders. What do independent leaders do? They develop independent reps. Independent offices develop independent leaders. Independent businesses, which we all want, develop independent offices. What is your business? Is this what you're talking about? Or are we doing what? The old distribution method, sell more, sell more, sell more, or are we going to have the what I call the expanded vision where we build more, build more, build more? How are you earning your income? You know, as an independent rep, you earn income one way, personally. As an independent leader, it's personal and overrides. An independent office has personal, multiple overrides. Now you've got bonuses. An independent business, which we're about, is what? Personal, overrides, bonuses, office overrides, and office bonuses. What does a growing business look like? In Primerica, growing distribution is all about licenses. How many life licenses do you have on your team, in your organization? How many securities licenses? Growing your book of business. I look at book of business as not necessarily production, okay, premium written. Two different things I look at is face amount and force. Okay, anyone can write a policy, falls off the books, okay? Face and force means how much clients have I written and it's on the books. It's good business. Okay, secondly is assets under management. Long term, that provides stability, reoccurring income, advisory fees, 12B1s. And then obviously, are we growing cash flow in your business? You know, I took a look at it and I said, okay, we've got, you know, in Randy's organization, we've got some massive, what I call business builders. And I took a look at life team size. What do we have? What are we looking at? Obviously, Randy, we're all part of Randy's organization. His original code, 4,500 life licensed reps. Okay, base shop. Okay, what percentage of his base? It doesn't even register 1%. And I'm going to talk about base shop in a moment here, you know, what the purpose of a base shop is, but you can kind of take a look through here. We got Kim and Rhonda Carver, number 2, 2,300 licenses, 34 in his base, okay, which represents 1% of his business. That's a pretty secure business. That's a business that has many businesses inside of it. Okay, pretty exciting. And again, I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can take a look at all the life licenses and then what percentage is their base shop. There's some big base shops there. Okay, I take a look at Carlos, one of the biggest, 221 licenses in his base shop. What, in my opinion, what is a base shop? It's kind of like your research and development for your business. That's where you grow RVPs, It's the only place you're going to grow first generation RVPs. So if your mindset is I want to grow businesses within my business, that's where it happens. Okay, and some of these people did that a long time ago, and look what the business that they've built that we've got. Next, I took a look at securities licenses. Randy and Marcy have 1,000 securities licenses. Okay, they own 5 codes. Okay, this is just their main code, 1,000 securities licenses. Okay, pretty awesome. Craig and Gina Morgan, awesome. 641 codes. And I love it. I look at the percentages. What percentage of their business comes from their base shop? Okay, the goal is obviously to use your base shop to grow vice presidents, but then those vice presidents continue to grow and build and then grow the number. But you don't want to have it where your base shop is 90% of your business. You know, it will be like that in the beginning. It'll be 100% until you promote out your first vice president. But at that point, then your business starts to grow. Face amount and force. Take a look at this. 34 billion, and I didn't stutter, I meant to do that on purpose, billion, not million, 34 billion of face amount and force Randy and Marcy have in their original code. Okay, the Viance, 21 billion. Okay, if we take a look at in his base shop, 512 million, represents 2% of his business. I would love to have a business like Dennis. 2% from his base shop, but 98% represents what his business from other business owners that he's helped build and become successful that we've got. From a personal standpoint, doesn't even register 1%. Okay? And again, I just chose here to the top 15 that you've got, and you can take a look at it. Number 15, 3.8 billion in face amount in force. Clients that are clients right now, not a policy that was written 5 years, ones that are on the books. The next one is AUM. Okay, Randy and Marcy, 3 billion in face amount. Okay, incredible, incredible. You can take a look here. Again, what percentage is from base shop, what percentage is from personal. Okay, what you want to have is a base shop to build your organization. Okay, you lead from the front. That's what leaders do, setting that example. But again, like Amazon, shifting, not about how much they can sell, but how many, it's unlimited the number of businesses they can support. Okay, that's where the multiplication comes in. Cash flow. Randy and Marcy, 33 million in cash flow. I love it. Their personal $1 million income earners, but only represents 3% of the cash paid to the business is them personal. That's a business. This is what we ought to be modeling after. And then I'll wrap it up with this. You know, I mentioned that a base shop is for what? Research and development to develop what? First generation RVPs. You can take a look at here, you know, here's some of the top, how many RVPs do they have in their business? How many first gen RVPs do they have in their business? You know, to me, your first generation RVPs are your multiplication factor. If they've bought into building a business and building RVPs that build RVPs that build RVPs, that's your multiplication. How many first generation do you have? Because if they think like you, we can end up having what? Huge distribution, what I call expanded distribution, but they need to have the mindset, okay, that they're here to build RVPs that build RVPs. The company obviously has put a huge comp equity awards for doing that. Okay, they've made it very clear. Okay, to make the most money, this is what you want to do. Why do they do that? Because they know if you go do what Randy and a lot of these leaders that you're seeing here have done in building vice presidents, that's where the freedom comes in. That's where the profits come in. Okay, that's where having a business comes in. You know, and I'll wrap up with this, is like Amazon, let's have an expanded vision of distribution. Not just distribution, but an expanded vision, and start having the multiples work for us by building successful businesses within our business. Thank you so much.
Man, Mark, that was absolutely amazing. I mean, it's just so powerful to understand, folks. You know, Marcy, we've said this forever. It's not how much money you make, it's how you make your money. And I know a lot of people in other industries, they might make really good money, but they don't know if that's going to happen again the year after that, the year after that. They don't know if their boss is going to fire them or not. You see, with us, because of this industry and building distribution, The reason why we're able to disrupt this industry is because we're building the largest distribution machine ever. And you measure distribution by 3 basic things. Number 1, new recruits coming in every month. Number 2, licensing those new recruits. And then number 3, ultimately, how many regional vice presidents are being developed out of that. And as you grow regional vice presidents, you grow distribution and grow offices. So thank you so much, Mark. That was just absolutely amazing. And now we are about to go into our first session of recognition. It's going to be recruiting, but before I do, I want to just mention a couple things. Well, first of all, we just found out late last night, Gforce has already developed promoted, I think, 4 regional vice presidents so far this year, Mars. I mean, we're not even finished with 2 months into the year yet. And we just found out last night, Eddie Barrera called us and found out last night the company just approved our 5th RVP promotion. We want to go ahead and put that on the screen real quick. And that's brand new regional vice presidents, Nicole and Jay Johnson. Congratulations, you two.
Yay,
Your
Nicole
life
and Jay.
is about to change in a dramatic way. You got the contract now, like Mark said. It's time to use it big, big time. So we sure appreciate that. And now, Darlene, if you would, put that slide up that talks about our recognition. Now, a lot of y'all, you probably figured out this is a different color T-shirt, and we're kind of going to change it up on you.
Gray is very popular.
Is gray
days,
popular?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm kind of gray, so it must be popular. But anyway, we're going to hand out gray T-shirts. Now we still got our orange and blue Gforce colors going on, but we're going to change it up every now and then. And when people see you wearing this gray, you know what they're going to say? Oh man, they were in the top 10. They finished in the top 10 in recognition. So those are the people going to get this. Okay, we might keep the gray this year. We might change it up, but don't forget. We've moved our convention now to the summer of 2022 in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Not to forget, though, when we show up that stadium, we're going to be bigger than we were before, and we're going to have orange, man. It's going to be the Orange Crush up there. Yep. You can count on that. And we got our blackout night. We're still going to do that, too, so it's going to be great. But between now and then, we're going to change it up a lot. It's going to be fun. It'll represent certain, times that you won this.
Yep.
People will know it. So anyway, and Darlene, if you would, put that slide up there. We got it. So top 25, Marcy, whether it be future RVPs or RVPs, they're going to get this beautiful Gforce certificate signed by all of our $1 million earners. You're going to love that, frame that, put that up in your office or home. And then, of course, we got our gray, or our now famous gray T-shirts, right, for the top 10 finishers. And then, of course, we're going to have a #1 plaque, goes to our #1 finisher, no matter what category there is. And so, Mars, I don't know about you, but I think we ought to get it going. Let's celebrate the top 25 future RVPs in the recruiting category. And remember, to be a future RVP, you're either a district, division, or regional leader. So, Marcy, why don't you take it away?
We're going to start with number 25, Belinda and Victor Benavides. Number 24, Jake Rahman and Noel Brent. Kyle and Stella Crow. Maribel Infante, Teresa and Joey Cantu, number 20, Cecilia and Edward Arredondo, Esther and Arnold Garcia, James and Sarah Hernandez, Amy Salinas, Nicole and Jay Johnson, we just recognized them as our RVP, Zach and Megan Levy, Laura Garcia, Lauren Garza, Christian Sanchez, and David and Rhonda Grabberg finish out the top.
Wow.
Number 11.
Hey, way to go, gang. That's exciting. Get your certificates now. Top 10 gets the T-shirts, and here they are. Future RVPs. Number 10, Brian and Sarah Cochran. Number 9, we have Ashley Trejo. Number 8 is Diane Houston. Number 7, we have Anthony and Myra Gayton. And then number 6, we have Daria Witherspoon. Number 5, Todd and Connie Kelly. And number 4, we have Ella Webster and Candace Jones. Number 3, Jeremiah and Lily Drake. Number 2, Jermaine and Whitney Walker. And before I get to number 1, I want all of you to know that these people are competing what position they were in before when we started the competition. And so with that said, we have Ella Webster, the Drakes, and the Walkers were already promoted to RVP. They're RVPs now, and our number one finisher just got his Power Builder $100,000 ring last night. Number one finisher, now rookie RVP, the great Sish and Britt Rimson.
Woo! That was so great.
And so, with that now, Mars, we're in the RVP category, so take it away, girl.
So the top 25 on Base Shop recruits for RVPs. Number 25, Raymond and Vivian Trevino.
Woo!
24, Ali Resendez. 23, Jaime Cantanilla. 22, Vish and Kelly Prasad. 21, Patrick Domingo and Teresa Chi. 20, James and Marcia Sherrod. Number 19, Pete and Nellie Tiarina. Number 18, Sandy and Monica Morales. Number 17, Linessi and Emilio Ortego. Number 16, Melissa and Cameron Blue. Number 15, Craig and Gina Morgan.
All right, Morgan.
Number 14, Eddie and Susanna Barrera.
Yeah.
Number 13, Randy and Jan Norman.
Woo!
Number 12, Janicia and Anthony Brooks.
Yes.
And number 11, Carlos and Mary Arana.
Wow, way to go, gang. So proud of y'all. And now we're in the top 10, and we'll find out who's number one. But number 10, here we go with the t-shirts. The great Hugo and Maria Sanchez. Number 9, Mario and Taz Hinojosa. Number 8 is Kobe and Chastity Roberts. Number 7, Carlos Gonzalez and Kayla Gonzalez. His daughter's his new partner. It's exciting. Number 6 is the fabulous $1 million earner, top 10 in recruiting, Mark and Sandy Yazapovic. And then number 5, we have Laura and Robert Valls. Number 4 is the great Stephen and Lana Newton. Number 3, Angie and Henry Guerra. Number 2 is Mike and Lisa Chaffin. And there is only
number one.
Yes, and the number one, that was good, Mars.
I've been doing it a few
That's
years.
good. Okay, there's only one number one, and our number one finisher in the RVP recruiting category is the fabulous Reggie and Charity Reed with, listen to me, 264 recruits over the contest period. Absolutely incredible. And so, folks, now I have the privilege of introducing our speakers in this next session. And as soon as I find my speakers, all my notes, there they are. Here they are. Good. I'm going to introduce them all at one time, and then they're going to toss off to the next speaker, folks. So you better be ready. You better get after it because it's going to be fast-paced, and we're going to end it with our $1 million earner, Dennis Viant. So here we go. We got, first off, right off the bat, we got the great National Sales Director Craig Morgan from Dallas, Texas. Last 12 months income, $624,000. And then we have Angie Guerra from Laredo, Texas. And she's at $350,000 rolling 12 right now. And then we have Regional Vice Presidents Mike and Lisa Chaffin. They're at $224,000 rolling 12. And then we just found out we will have SNSD Carlos Gonzalez from Austin, Texas. Mike and Lisa are here in Atlanta. Carlos is at $897, on his way to $900,000. Carlos got pipes broke big time, during the Texas storm. He had people storming in his house today, but he said, man, we're up and ready to go. So we're excited to hear from Carlos. And then Carlos is going to be tossing to the fabulous Senior National Sales Director, Dennis Viant, 86 RVPs, 1.3 million rolling cash. He was, even though we're not recognizing $1 million earners in the cash flow category, he was our number one earner during this particular contest period. Member of the Circle of Champions, perennial MVP. So you're going to get to hear him close out this session. So without further delay, Craig Morgan from Dallas, Texas. It's all yours, my friend. Take it away.
Thanks, Randy. Thanks, Marcy. Gina and I are so excited to be a part of this today. And thank you again for all the work in putting it together. We are so pumped up about what's ahead for us. And I just want to say a couple of thanks real quick to all our first generation RVPs that wear the $100,000 ring. You guys have got a great thing happening right now in your base shops, and Gina and I are so proud of your base shops, and Gina and I are so proud of what the Garcias are doing. This guy used to only be a butcher. That's what he thought. That's all he was worth. But he changed that. The Bushes, he couldn't get a good job, so he went and became a bartender. The guy that's going to be our next seventh first generation RVP that wears the ring, you just heard him getting recognized, Anthony and Myra Gayton, it's your turn. And what about Herman Dew? 77 years old. He shouldn't be making $100,000 a year, but he is. And what can you say about Dennis Viant? If it wasn't for Dennis, the country of Canada may have never been explored. I would have never met friends like Mike and Sonia Gatto. Gene and I would have never met people like Bob and Rhonda Graham. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but I tell you what, times are great and they're only getting better. So in my time today, I want to share with you two principles. Here's the first one. It's called don't prejudge. And the second principle, it's all about heart power. That's how you win. You don't win with your head. You win with your heart. So I'm going to talk about those two things, and then I'm going to kick it over to the Guerreras real quick. I want to tell you a story that this happened many, many years ago. My replacement leg to go RVP was a guy by the name of Valton Lynch. Valton, of course, made $100,000 a year. He actually made $200,000 a year. And as my replacement, the sad thing for me is he's actually passed away. But the reason I wanted to bring up Valton is because Craig Morgan at one point prejudged. Many, many years ago, I'll tell you the story. I recruited Valton. He's a single kid in his early 20s, working at a music store. Did not own whole life insurance, wasn't the right market. But I also recruited a guy named Herschel. Herschel was everything you thought would be an RVP. 38, married, 2 kids, taught his Sunday school class, owned whole life insurance, had credibility with everybody in Plano, Texas. On the surface, you think Herschel's going to be your stud, Craig. Herschel quit. Valton didn't. See, Valton had something inside here that made him a winner. And if you're careful, as I'm talking especially to the new people right now, you tend to think, well, I can beat the numbers. Well, I'll know the good recruits to go get. No, you won't. Because Art Williams, our founder, said there has never been a test that can measure the heart of a man or a woman. The only thing you can do, put a helmet on them, put them out in the field, slap them around a little bit. You'll find out how tough they are. And then who's standing at the end? Those are your studs. Those are your winners. And guys, you only need 3 key people. I can still hear Art Williams saying these words, just 3. Just 3. Now, you may have to go through lots of people to find 3 studs, but we have a system to find them. You don't have to cold call. You don't have to go do networking events. You don't have to do any of that crap. What you do is you build personal relationships. See, I'll tell you, people have asked me in the past, how did you meet Dennis Viant? I followed the A.L. Williams system. We called it the A.L. Williams way, about building personal relationships. So I'll tell you exactly how I met Dennis. I recruited a lady named Martha Magana that became a client and a rep. She said, Craig, we need to help my mom, Irma. She doesn't know anything about what to do with her money. She's got whole life. She doesn't know the Rule 72. All that's, we helped her mom, Irma, become a client. Martha didn't do a whole lot, but what she did do was got her own financial house in order, and he helped her mom. That is a great career for what she did. But before she decided just to help her mom and that was all she wanted to do, she introduced me to a guy named Paul May. Paul also became a client of mine. Paul also became a recruit of mine. He became a part-time guy. And during that time, he said, Craig, you need to meet Sean Viant. As I meet Sean, she says, Craig, you need to meet my husband, Dennis. And I did a kitchen table appointment with Dennis and Sean Viant. And the rest, as they say, is history. So how'd you meet Dennis? I recruited a lady who helped her mom, who led me to a guy named Paul, who introduced me to a lady named Sean, which led me to a guy named Dennis. And I exploded. Guys, don't prejudge. Remember, it's heart power. Dennis has the heart of a champion, as we all know. So as you go forward, remember those principles as you're building your team. I want to kick it over to Angie and Henry Guerra.
Hey, you guys. Gforce, oh my goodness. I'm just so excited. We are excited about this event today, you guys. We're here together, Henry and I, because, you know, we really are, we're in partnership. We see ourselves as co-CEOs of our family business. And we're just so grateful to be speaking to you guys today. Listen, when Randy said, no topic, speak from your heart, I have to be very honest with you. The very first thing that comes to me is mommy and family. That's what rises up in me right away. And I believe really in both of us, you guys, because that is why we're here. And so as grateful as we are for this opportunity, I want to share just a few things, guys. You got to know exactly what it is that it's your driving force. See, I believe that our driving force from the beginning and even now, it hasn't changed. Our driving force has always been to be able to be there for our family. Henry being a federal agent, you know, when we first started, he was a federal agent for 12 years, you guys, and I had an 8-to-5 career. One of the things that concerned me was to be able to pick up our children at 3 o'clock. So when I went to Henry and told him, babe, I think I'm going to leave my full-time job and do this, you know, Primerica, I was a district leader, you guys. Thank goodness Henry supported me in that. I'm very thankful for that. He's never held me back, not knowing that we were both going to end up doing this together. That wasn't the plan then. But I'm talking to all of you that are brand new into business. Listen, you got to know what's pushing you and what is your driving force, because that is the fuel that's going to keep you going when it feels like nothing is going your way. I want to share with you 4 things that I want you to keep in mind. Please accept the fact that you're going to grow as you go. Don't worry if you don't have it all figured out. I learned that from John Addison. You're going to grow as you go in this business. Second thing, just follow the system. Recruit, field train, license, and promote. It doesn't change. It's so simple. Don't try to complicate it. Keep it simple. Number 3, treat it like a job until it pays you like a business. Okay, when I left my career, guys, I was still showing up at 8 o'clock for myself, for our family business. At 8 o'clock, from 8 to 5, I was out meeting people, introducing myself every single day. I didn't have an office to plug into in Laredo, but I was out there meeting people. So I think you need to be careful with that when you go full time, and respect that you are building a business. Also, number 4 is never get tired of the repetition. When people get tired of the repetition, it's only because you don't have anybody new. That's when it gets boring. The repetition is actually something to embrace, but you will always be able to embrace it if you have a new person. Okay, so keep recruiting away. And the last thing that I'm going to share is that there's always going to be a defining moment. I remember when Henry came out of his back surgery and he was still a federal agent, you guys. The decision wasn't made yet that he was going to walk away from his business. And I wasn't even a regional vice president yet. Henry still had not decided that he was going to do this full time. And I remember vividly, I look at my living room, guys, he was still under anesthesia. And yet he managed to get someone over to our home and recruited that person, another federal agent. He was queasy. He wasn't even all there, but see, his winning spirit is something that I feed off of. And I believe that that's the reason why I'm so grateful for our partnership. But you guys, I'm going to tell you something. You got to know what scares you enough to keep you from quitting. We've got 3 daughters that are looking up to both of us. It scares me to death to even think that one day we won't be here, and for our children to say, I remember mom and dad thought about doing something big with that business. Gosh, they tried so hard, but didn't. that scares me. Like it gets me a knot in my throat. See, that scares me enough to keep me from quitting. What scares you enough to keep you from quitting? Because I'll tell you, you've already been blessed with this opportunity. So just go for it. Do what scares you. Find out what scares you enough to keep you from quitting and just go for it. Blessed to be in business with each and every one of you. Let's go, Texas and Gforce. I'm passing it over to our good friends now, Mike and Lisa Chaffin. Take it away, guys.
Man, Guianas, you guys are amazing. Gforce, we love you. As the new kids on the block, you know, it feels so weird to say that, but we're just so committed as a partnership here to duplicate and multiply like crazy, right? Number one's already out. You watch out. They're coming for the top of the board as well, and we got more coming. So what we want to do is I want to turn it over to my partner. I want Lisa to talk to everybody about how we're using the new decade of dominance. You know, when Glenn and the company came out with the decade of dominance, they didn't understand the environment we were in. And Lisa's going to talk you through how we're working together as partners to adapt and grow. We love y'all.
Thanks.
Take it away, Ben.
Appreciate it. All right, you guys. Thank you guys, Gforce, and welcome to this fantastic day. It's afternoon time here, so good afternoon to everybody. Thank you guys to Randy and Marcy for this incredible opportunity to speak for you guys. Gforce family, we've grown to really learn to love you guys, depend on you guys for support. So thank you for that. Also, I want to throw out there, we wouldn't be here without Scott and Georgia Godfrey. So thank God for them and bringing us into this business. Right. And also, of course, Michael and I just want to talk to you today again from the heart. Like Angie said, we're so blessed to be put in a position where when we got back from February's trip last year, just a year ago, Mike and I went ahead and put the if it's meant to be, it's up to me mentality, right? And we decided that it was time for us to put our own butts on the line and get after this thing. So when we did that, guys, we came back here and we developed our team name of Team Fearless, and we got after it. And we were really blessed, you guys, by the opportunity that we were able to do this strictly from Zoom, because that's all we had, right? So I have a few words that I'm going to speak to you about today that came straight from my heart. Our Team Fearless and being able to promote our first RVP, and the Walkers are so excited about that. So you guys know our story. You know that we're huge crusaders for this opportunity. We believe that you should never apologize for what we do. We're really proud to stand here today and swing our sword with you guys and with this company. And I just want to cover these few topics. So if you want to write these 5 things down: partnership, consistency, adaptability, your social media presence, and your attractiveness. Real quick sentences on each of those things, guys, to make this kind of really hit home. If you have a partner, capitalize on that. Use your strength and communicate with them to build your business together. You know, Mike and I have conversations every day about what we can do to make ourselves better. But if you have something you know you're good at, stick to that. Right. I know my lane and I stay in it. He knows his lane, and he said, Lisa, sometimes you're talking, right? So, and edify your partner and edify your team. Be consistent. Michael and I believe very strongly that if you are going to make a call, you got to stick to it and be intentional about it. If you decide that you're going to run something, keep running that play. Art told us this, guys. Keep running the play. Keep running the play. You may have 8 people show up one week, but maybe next week you're going to get 10. And that actually happened to us, guys. We had 8, 10, and we could share that story a lot longer ago that happened to us. So, but just keep working on your mindset, right? So adaptability, that third word that I threw out there, guys, you've got to adapt to your surroundings. We've got to adapt to the fact that we're on Zoom. Things are different, right? So when we came back from the Bahamas, we were now all on Zoom. So we needed to make sure that we made it happen. So connecting with our people intentionally, daily, making sure to have those communications with your team in a set schedule that works for you and your team. Okay. So again, run the play. Your social media. You guys know that that's one area that I excel. And this gives us the ability to connect with other people and be attractive, not in the way we look, but in the way we are as a business, right? So what is it that we're doing? Be compliant. But in today's world, you know, we're 6 feet apart from each other in the day to day. And Mike and I, we see maybe 2 or 3 people out in public a day, maybe a week even right now. So we're just not seeing those people. So you've got to use your social media to your advantage. Okay. So why not do that and connect with other people in Primerica? That's what it's all about, right? So also for us, just connecting with your Primerica family on social media is such a great way. It's helped us to bring us more friendships that we never would have dreamed of. It's more important that we're being able to go ahead and plug in those opportunities to have them speak for us, but we've been able to do that with them as well. So that's been fantastic. Guys, we love Gforce. We're honored to be a part of this team. And I have one little quick quote I want to leave you with today. I read this morning. It says, "This business is like a camera. Just focus on what's important, capture the good times, develop from the negatives. And if that doesn't work out, take another shot." That's all I got, y'all. So last thing, you guys, I just want to introduce to you next, coming up to the stage, Mr. Near-Term $1 Million Earner, Carlos Gonzalez. Go take it away.
All right, man, I love that. Thank you so much. Great introduction, guys. First of all, Dennis, I got 30 minutes and I'll introduce you. I'm joking. I want to go ahead and get started here. I'll put my timer on. I'm very coachable to Randy. He gave me a good call and a good 101 to make sure to put my timer on my phone. So I got it down. Hey, folks, listen, what I want to do, first of all, just kind of, I want to talk to everybody here. Obviously, all the speakers are doing extremely well. This is not for you. It's for the new people. It's for the people who've been here for a while, you know, that maybe are not getting the results they want. And I just want to let you know, first of all, congratulations to you for being so courageous. Let me tell you something. This business, it's a simple business, but it's not easy. What do I mean? We got to deal with negative people. We got to deal with rejection. I mean, there's a lot of crap going on, right? And people want to, you know, give us their opinions. And like I tell people, opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one and they all stink, right? So when I joined Primerica, folks, I was a registered pharmacist. In case you don't know this, most of us are very introverted. I'm a very introverted person. I love being around people, but I also love more being by myself, watching a movie, working out. I love my alone time. I totally enjoy it, but I go out of my comfort zone, right? Because it's got to be done. I love people, right? And so what I'm going to do is share with you a couple of things, you know, because some people, you know, Angie and Henry are kicking butt and taking names, right? I mean, everyone's kicking butt, it seems like, but you. That was me 31 years ago. I go to all these schools, you know, and Jim, you know, I have an incredible upline, Jim Spillane. He would always tell me I was his best person on the team, even though I was doing like 0 by 1 or 1 by 0. I stunk it up big time, right? But he believed in me, man, and he loved me. And so if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. That's how powerful us leaders are with our teammates, number one. Number two, that's where if you're in the base shop, right, you need to be praising your leadership, because if their uplines are your lifelines, you've heard that before, it's a truth, right? So I want to just share with you this, you know, how did I change my life? So let me just, I'm going to give you 5 things that I did. Again, this is for new people or people that have been here for a while and are maybe not getting the results you want. You know, in my Bible says in 2 Corinthians that we walk by faith, not by sight. And what does that mean, folks? Listen, too many times our eyes deceive us. What do I mean? Okay. We're working hard in the business. We're doing appointments. Things don't go well. You know, I prospected. I was listening to the Chaffins, right? And so this week, I don't go out of the house much, but when I do, I prospect. I prospected this painter came to my house a couple of days ago. Actually, a demolition guy had a water pipe bust last week, right? And so I prospected this kid. He's 25, but you know, whatever, right? It is, right? It is what it is. I went to my foot doctor and I was prospecting this young girl, I guess she's about 23, 24, about making some part-time income. Well, I'm an introvert. I'm like, okay, whatever. I did my best to overcome every objection I could, but after a while, it's just a waste of time. This is my point. Did I get down? Absolutely not. It's like going fishing, folks. If you go fishing, you got to be patient. You're not going to catch every time you go. But guess what? The best fisher people, I don't know what the word is now, fisherman. Everyone gets offended by a man or a woman. But best person that goes and fishes, right? They're patient. They keep casting the line. So let me share with you what I recommend, what I did. So I was in Primerica 3.5 years, getting like nothing as far as results. I mean, my goal was to get Randy to even know my name. I was kind of lost in the shuffle because I didn't do much, right? But my goal was, if I can get Randy to know my name, that means I'm doing something, right? And so again, I was doing like 1 by 1, 3 by 1, nothing great. I was a regional leader for like 3.5 years, right? Doing nothing. And so this is what happened, folks. Number one, you have to taking notes. Number one, figure out your why. Why are you here? You know, it's so simple. Everyone says, oh, it's real easy. No, it's not. It's got to be something that shakes you, folks. Your why has to be so compelling that it moves you. You can't sleep at night. You get up early and you're hungry. And the no's and rejection don't, it's like you can't, they don't even faint you because your purpose, your why is so important to you, right? Now, for the first 3.5 years, I didn't understand my why. I thought it was to make extra money. And it was, right? Let me tell you what happened to me. Okay. When my first daughter was born, Carly, right, was born at 1 pound, 6 ounces. And she was in the NICU, right, for 90 days. I knew that when she left the hospital in about 90 days, I didn't know how long she was gonna be there, but when she left, that her mom was gonna have to leave her job as a teacher to be a full-time mom. So that meant, folks, that I had to make up her income, her difference. And us Hispanic men, right? I don't know, I can only speak for me, my culture, right? As a man in my family, our job is to take care of the family, right? Provide, whether you're sick or you're not, you provide. That's the number one thing in our culture, right? And so it was ingrained to me by my dad, right? So what it did, folks, the month that my daughter was born on January 25th of 93, my base shop did 1 recruit and 3,000. And I did 0 by 0 that month because I was still worried about Cardi before she was born. That's a long story. But my team, Ramiro Pequeño, did the 3 by 1. I did 0, okay? And so when she came out in April, I had to make a decision, right? My why was make sure that I can make enough money so her mom can stay home and we don't lose the house and everything, right? Something simple, right? And I had to evaluate, okay, there's 2 ways I could do this. One way is to become a better salesperson, which I didn't want to do that. I'd rather become a recruiter, okay? So that's what I did. See, it's called a defining moment. You know, Mark Twain said that I can help anyone get what they want. The problem is I can't find anybody who knows what they want. Well, I tell you what, that was a defining moment in my life. I figured out what I wanted. I thought it was other things, but it was replacing my wife's income. That's number one. So find out your why. Number 2, make a decision to make it happen, okay? Come heck or high water. Folks, when I made a decision to recruit, my goal was very specific, and it was DDR. That's my next one topic, but my point is, folks, write this down, make changes, not excuses. Too many people, you know, right now we have the link video that we send out and sometimes we don't get results or we prospect somewhere or whatever, and we think that maybe it's not working. And folks, don't make excuses, right? Oh, it doesn't work. No, you just got to change your tactics, right? Make changes, not excuses. Number 3, which is very important. Keep the main thing. I got that from Randy like 31 years ago, right? Which is DDR. It's all about recruiting, right? Recruiting is everything. You know, I've got $50 million of personal AUM, assets under management. It came from recruiting. No one considers me a securities guy. Everyone thinks of David Lipson, right? Well, guess what? I'm a builder. I'm a recruiter. I'm not near his assets under management, but you know what? I've got a fair share. In my hierarchy, we've got 200 million. Again, not great, but it's something. It all came from recruiting. Life premium. I think we've got $6 or $7 billion of life insurance in force. It came through recruiting, right? I've got 2 minutes. Number 4, become a student of the business. I worked on myself like it's nobody's business. What does that mean? Self-improvement, leadership, attitude, product knowledge. You got to know what the heck we do. And number 4, how to close. How did I learn that? Reading books and audio tapes. Reading books and audio tapes. Number 5, this is the last one. I showed up to everything, especially when I didn't feel like it. This is the key. I showed up to everything, especially when I didn't feel like it. When I lost my best guy or gal, when I missed on a close, when I got a chargeback, when I couldn't recruit anybody out of a paper bag, I kept showing up. I needed to see Jim sell me the dream every Tuesday, at every money-making seminar. He would sell me the dream again. I would never miss a meeting, folks. Anyway, folks, I'm done. I hope that makes sense. Let me make sure my timer's on. I got 1.5 minutes. I'm gonna cut off early, but I just want to let y'all know, folks, I'm so proud of being on the Gforce team. I would not be here without Randy. I'm telling you, man, I used to listen to Randy and talk about the red shiny Ferrari story. It's amazing stuff. But everybody in my team thinks it's mine now because I stole it from him. And Primerica is a copycat business. Just make sure you're copying the right cat, okay? So guys, I'm gonna introduce our next speaker. Let me tell you, folks, our next speaker. When I was a kid in the business, Randy would have this big school in Dallas, and the Canadians would come. And these guys were freaking crazy in a good way, right? They would come and they would yell and chant. And I'm like, my gosh, this is like a freaking sports team, right? And they're all hockey players and stuff. But you know what? They brought enthusiasm. We would look at them from the room. That's right, man. And I used to say, man, these guys are on fire. You know what they did? They made it okay to be excited about our opportunity. They made Primerica fun. They made Primerica like a sport. And let me just tell you, we learned from these guys. They would travel and fly from Canada, money, time, all that stuff, and they wouldn't miss a meeting. How could I not go a 3.5-hour drive to make a meeting if these guys could do what they did, right? So anyway, folks, this incredible $1 million earner, Dennis Valyad, buddy, take it away, brother.
Hey, Carlos, thank you so much. You did a fabulous job. A historic day. Carlos was on time. Mind-boggling, right? Hey, sincerely, Carlos, I'm really proud of you. It's exciting to see what has and continues to happen in your business. And it's so great that you're in business with your daughter. I'm in business with my son. Okay. And these are exciting times with this incredible opportunity in a huge way. Right. And, and Carlos had talked about, a sports team. Okay. And yeah, we get to play Primerica. That's what we're doing today. We're playing Primerica. We're getting after it, right? I want to thank Craig, and just so appreciative of Craig, and has and continues to be the perfect leader for me, okay? And lets me go be me and do what I need to go do, right? To go take care of what needs to be taken care of, right? And Randy, and putting everything together, right? An entire team of destiny, right? And us as an entire team, and I'm so proud of the team of destiny repeating as Circle of Champions, and I'm so grateful for everybody's leadership, and then just hearing from who we heard from, right? Mark and Craig and Angie and Michael, right? As far as the Chaffins and Carlos, right? And I want to welcome everybody and congratulations for choosing to be part of the incredible Gforce International webinar. Okay, today's about ownership of your life, okay, and your business. For the past year, COVID-19 has taught everybody, okay, and many people, how they haven't had ownership of their life. All these people thought they had good jobs or good situations or all right, or they recovered, okay, and all this stuff. Well, we found out that ain't the way it is. And that ain't the way it's never gonna be, right? From that standpoint, right? So today's about taking ownership of your life back. Take ownership of your life back, okay? And that's getting involved with our opportunity. And I know some of you right now are saying, I'm already part of the opportunity. But Dennis, I'm already involved with Primerica. Okay, sounds good. Are you a full owner in Primerica? Okay, right? Taking ownership in your business is becoming a full owner in Primerica. There's a quote from Tony Robbins. Okay, it goes like this. The only thing keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. This is how I always read stuff in first person. The only thing keeping me from getting what I want is the story I keep telling myself about why I can't have it. The only thing keeping me from getting what I want is the story I keep telling myself about why I can't have it. You see, there's four milestones in business, not to be confused with promotions, right? Rep, senior rep, district division, regional leader, SVP, RVP, SVP, NSD, SNSD, right? Those are all promotional positions in Primerica. You promote yourself, okay, based on your development and your team development and production. Simple, clear, and specific. There's 4 milestones in Primerica. Simple, clear, and specific. Getting started, becoming a field trainer, becoming an RVP, and full ownership. Let's talk about those. Number 1, getting started, right? Focus with the end in mind. What's the end in mind? Full ownership, right? As you get started, right? You're starting to become a full owner in Primerica. That's your long-term vision. Right now, you want to get the biggest field training bonus in the shortest period of time. Okay? And the shortest period of time as soon as you can get licensed. But the biggest bonus, put yourself in position during training to become a field trainer and make a career change. Field trainer, right? And people say, well, what's a field trainer? Could be a district, division, RL. Anybody training is a field trainer. Okay? Field trainer. Okay? Right? Once you're licensed, become a field trainer right away. That way, the more you've done with your team building and training will incent you to excel the field trainer. Develop other field trainers, direct and downline. Explode to RVP. Huge incentives, company stock, bonuses, and put you in a position for full ownership. Full ownership. RVP, $300,000 a year income. You do it, you get it. It's not based how long you've been here, your sex, your ethnicity, your ethnicity, that big word, okay? Ethnicity, okay? My son's, he's got the big brains in the family, okay? Right? Okay? Right? Whatever that word I was supposed to say it, okay? Your resume, RVP, 300,000 owner. Puts you in the power position to sprint to full ownership. Right? We're never going to ask you to do anything illegal or immoral. Think about this for a minute. What aren't you willing to do? That's what's slowing you down. It's your choice to go for it. Right? 4 milestones. Getting started, become a field trainer, RVP, full ownership. Simple, clear, specific. Getting started. Okay? How do you become a field trainer? Is to help other people get started. Get on box, business opportunity proposals with your field trainer. How do you become a field trainer? Help your teammates get started, direct and downline. Develop field trainers. How do you become an RVP? Help new teammates get started, direct and downline. Develop field trainers, right, direct and downline. Develop RVPs. How do you become a full owner? Here's how you become a full owner. Help new teammates get started, direct and downline. Develop field trainers, direct and downline. Develop RVPs, direct and downline. Develop full owners, direct and downline. And some of you guys are going, you just keep saying the same thing over and over again. I'm glad you finally got it. Yes, I do. Yes, I am. That's how it works. Okay, right? It's doing the same thing over and over and over and over with tremendous enthusiasm. The word enthos, right? Right? The Greek word enthos means God from within. Your enthusiasm comes from inside out, your belief system. Okay, right? Primerica is a bottom-up business. Bottom-up business. Everything starts when you get started. Everything starts from the bottom up. Everything starts from the bottom up. Get started, become a field trainer, become a RVP, become a full owner. One of the things that we teach, one of our philosophies on the Team of Destiny is number one, always make money. Always make money. Number one. And I know, and that's not, I'm not here to say what's right, what's wrong, and there's no right, whatever. If your philosophy is different, that's wonderful. I'm sharing mine. Okay, right? I'll stack our team up to any team in all of Primerica on who makes money. Okay, right? And that there's now, right? And the best way to make money is to team build. It's not the only way, but it's the best way to make money is through team building. Okay, right? So I want to talk to you. I want to focus on what I said is what? Full ownership. So I want to talk to you about full ownership. As great as the position in business of being an RVP in Primerica is, which is incredible. Okay, absolutely ultimate position in all of business is to be a full owner of your Primerica business. Okay, only 2 qualifications: be an RVP and make $300,000 a year. Be an RVP, make $300,000 a year. Okay, company talks about sprint to district, which is outstanding. On Gforce International, it's sprint to full ownership. Okay, right? What's that worth financially to your family? We got performance-based guidelines solely based on your own abilities, not talent. Okay, let's talk about talent. People that can what? Dunk a basketball, shoot a hockey puck 100 miles an hour, somebody that could sing, somebody that could dance. Those are talents. Those are gifts from God. Okay? Ability. Ability. Everything about ability, everything can be learned. Primerica is 100% about ability. Woohoo! Okay? That's incredible. So guess what? It puts everything in my hands, in your hands. When it comes down to it, isn't that what you want? To be in control of your own life, right? Primerica says, when you fill out your IBA for $99, you have the opportunity based on your effort, your energy, your focus, your desire, your will to win, your ability, your work ethic, your belief system to own your own Primerica business. As soon as you become an RVP and make $300,000, you own it. You decide how long you want it to take. Hence, Gforce International, sprint to full ownership. Okay, right? 4 milestones. Get started, become a field trainer, become an RVP. What's that worth? 8 to 13 times. What that, right? So 10 times 300,000 is a business worth $3 million. So for $99, you built a business worth $3 million. That's mind-boggling. Okay, let's look at the full owners on the team of destiny. Steve and Robin Bentic, Nolan Pat Erickson, Guy and Carmen Fedora, Hermie and Chris Gemwada, Mike and Sonia Gatto, Bob and Rhonda Graham, Tom Hammer and his daughter Nicole Gavin, Roy and Janice Kurt, Mike and Marty Langrell, Mike and Jolynn McCreesh, Brian and Lindley Naiman, Reggie and Trish Patrick, Todd and Darla Radish, Sue and Jared Rogan, Daryl Laura Stephenson, Brad and Megan Stocky, Dennis and Trey Byan, Mark and Sandy Ozapovic. Okay? You see, folks, right? When you're a Gforce International RVP, that's full ownership. Okay? And I shared those full owners with you because we're looking on Gforce International for more full owners. Who's next? You could have just got started with us and you go be a full owner in Primerica, right? It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It only matters what you think. I encourage you. I challenge you to go be a full owner. All of you getting started, go be a field trainer. All you field trainers, go be an RVP. All you RVPs, what the crap are you waiting for? Go be a full owner. Okay, right? Okay, right? So understand, okay, right? That Sean and I built a business that's worth 13 times. Okay, right? That business today is worth $17 million. $17 million business for $99. right? That's absolutely mind-boggling, folks, when you think about that. When you think about the opportunity, okay, right? And Trey and his wife Marissa and I, we're partners in business together, right? We're partners in business together. What are you waiting for? The clock is ticking. Only not right. You're right. You're only on this earth for a flicker. So understand, okay? Understand it's your opportunity, right? The opportunity is right now, today is absolutely so incredible for you to go become what? A full owner, okay? Go be a full owner and your family will be thankful to you big time. Let's pass it back to you, Randy. Proud to be your teammate.
Man, he was hot today. I'll tell you.
You mean hot like not that.
Okay, all right. Okay, he was hot in terms of his content today, I'll tell you. And I love everything he had to say, and he was so excited. And I'm telling you, he is just a warm-up right now. Y'all better fasten your seatbelts.
They don't know what's about to happen because we've been keeping it a secret. But I'm just telling you, first of all, Dennis, thank you. Because I've told this to everybody that will to hear me, and that is, I believe when you go over $300,000 in income, that is the single most significant income benchmark you could ever have in Primerica. More significant than going over $1 million and $2 million. Why? Because it's what it represents, right? It's full, total ownership for you and your family. And every RVP has a shot at doing it. So thank you, Dennis. Thank you, all the speakers in our session 1. And Marcy,
we got a good one.
This is it. I mean, I think Sam Shepard is in the batter's box right now. I was so excited when Sam said yes to speaking to Gforce International. I believe that Sam Shepard and what he is doing right now, right out of Atlanta, Georgia, is leading one of the most significant growth hierarchies in all of Primerica right now. And I just want you to understand, folks, this is a guy, he might mention, but this is a guy that used to be a baggage handler in the airport here in Atlanta with a defunct airlines, used to be called Eastern Airlines. That's Sam's preparation for being one of the largest builders, one of the highest income earners, not only in Primerica, but in all of this industry. And we have him here for the next 30 minutes. If there's ever a chance for you to focus, you better do it right now. If you're going to take notes, you better do it right now. This guy started in 1981, just a year after I did. And he became RVP in 1983, SNSD in 93. He has 58 RVPs. Now remember, this is just in his original code, okay? Sam owns a bunch of codes. 2 of those codes he owns under a code that I own. So we're kind of cousins, we're related, and I am so happy to override Sam's talent, okay?
That's right.
I'm telling you. And of course, Wall of Fame, company MVP like every year, Circle of Champions member. This dude just went over 2.8 million, timeout, in his original code number. Let me help you with something. The 2 code numbers that he runs underneath one of my codes, those 2 combined, he's been paid over, listen to me, over $500,000 just in those 2 codes, okay? There's a couple individuals like Mike Burke, Alex Sanabria, and also Carlos Leon. That's kind of there. And so, boy, I'm glad I got Sam. And so anyway, unbelievable. So this guy, I believe, more than anybody else, and I mean anybody else, has the shot of becoming the #1 earner in all of Primerica. We are privileged to have him. And out of all these accomplishments, out of all the RVPs he has, his base shop still averages over the last 12 months, $92,000 in premium, 71 recruits. Listen to this. 76% QBI. That's almost impossible if you're running a massive base shop like that to keep quality of business like that. We are honored, Sam, to have you. Brother, you take it away. Thank you.
Woo! And thank you so much, Randy. Thank you, Marcy. And this is an honor. And first, I thank God that I'm here today. I thank God for the opportunity to talk to you guys. I was listening to Dennis. It's kind of a setup. After listening to Carlos and Dennis, I said, oh, they're going to throw me in here behind these guys, two of my heroes, two of my buddies. And I see a lot of my great friends are part of the Gforce team. And it is an honor. And I'm going to share a screen with you guys in a minute. But we are so excited to be in Primerica, folks. What a great time to be in Primerica. I've been blessed to be here 40 years. I'll be licensed 40 years in June. And it's never been better. I mean, and it's going to be even better. I mean, as good as it is, it's going to keep getting better. You see my screens, 2021, our theme is greater. You know, as great as 2020 was, as great as all the past of the company is, I think it's always about looking to the future. And so thank you, Randy and Marcy. I've learned so much from you guys over the years. You've spoken to our team before. I'm definitely going to have you speak again. You are just one of the best couples. Just what a great example of leadership you guys are. And the team you have, just a team of winners. You know, team all from here to Canada, just a team of winners. And you all always do it big. You do it the right way. And I'm glad to be your cousin. And our other co's, I'm glad to be your cousin. and I'm trying to figure out how I get to override you. I mean, you got to override me, but we got to figure out something in the comp. Can we flip-flop every other month? I don't know. But anyway, what an honor to be a part of this team. And tell y'all a little bit about my story. I'm looking at the clock, so I'm going to make sure that I'm on time. If somebody gives me a signal, I look away from the clock because I will go over if I don't see something. So I want to stay on time. I believe in being on time is important. But folks, my story, Randy told you a little bit about it. Just if you don't know my life story, again, 1981, I saw this business. I was putting bags on the airplane. I was making $1,900 a month. I never made $2,000 in a month until I got to Primerica. And $2,000 a month, you could have hired me. I'd have signed a contract with Primerica for $50,000 a year. If they give me that contract and said, Sam, $50,000 a year for the rest of your life, I was like, where do I sign? Because to me, when you're making 22 a year, you know, $50,000, $40,000. I remember I got a $40,000. I was so excited when I made $40,000 in a year. I mean, I was telling everybody, man, I made $40,000 last year. I think you got to be excited for the little things, for big things that happen to you. Because, you know, Art always said, never forget what first blew your butt out the water. And so I'll never forget the first time I made over $4,000 in a month. It was just like mind blowing. I'm like, man, I made I couldn't believe I was making $4,000. I was showing my checks. You know, people say, you show your checks now? I said, look, now we thank God. Nobody believes your checks now. You start making big money, they don't believe it, so they don't believe that. Man, when I was making $3,000 and $4,000, I show people I made $3,600. I made $4,000. And I think being excited about wherever you are. See, some people say, well, I'm gonna get excited. If I was making your money, I get excited. No, you gotta be excited about where you are. Maybe you didn't make any money. You be excited about where you are right now, because it's going to be better and it's going to be greater. And so I want to give y'all just some slides. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen. I'm a low tech. And let me share this screen. Here we go. I think I got it. Let's see. I'm going to put that on share. There we go. I'm going to put that up there. Okay, there we go. I think, is that showing up there? I hope that's showing up. Somebody shake a head or something. Okay, thanks, Dennis. So I just want to share a little bit. I'm going to recap last year a little bit and then bring you into this year. And this is what happened last year for us folks in promotions. And this is our biggest year of promotion. Because this is about, you know, Art said you get 7 to 10, who gets 7 to 10, get 7 to 10, 3 by 3 by 3. It's always about the multiple. So last year, you see, we had Carlos and Monica, and I'll talk about them more later. They are a part of this Gforce team. You know, that's the side of our hierarchy. It's the Sanabrias, Burks, and all them. That's part of this Gforce hierarchy. And that's Carlos and Monica, just incredible. They went from RVP to NSD. I think they're right at SNSD right now. Pretty close. And then the number of RVPs, folks, I think we had 24 people go RVP last year. I've never in my 40 years had that many people go RVP. I remember doing builder schools, and I do a couple of schools a year, and you always hope there's somebody getting promoted to RVP at a builder school. It's like, it's their school. And I remember schools where we don't have nobody going RVP. Man, we got another 6 months later, there's one person going RVP. But last year, folks, with no meetings in the quote unquote Corona year, COVID year, whatever you want to call it, here's one thing we found out. Meetings are overrated. And I say that as a guy that believes in meetings, but if you had told me at the beginning of 2020 that we could do no meetings, I would just hope we could survive. But if you had told me that we could thrive with no meetings, I wouldn't have believed it, because my 39 years in business were based on opportunity meetings, manager meetings, Monday night, Tuesday night out, Thursday night out, Saturday morning training, builder school retreat. That's what we did. That was my MO, and I hadn't changed anything. And when I was told the 1st of March, I was on a trip. I talk about that. Me and Harold Crafter and our wives were on a trip in Maui. We were at a Christian retreat over there, and they started telling me right after we got, they were talking about COVID, but it wasn't really stopping anything. And then while we were there, my office called and said, "Hey, coach, no more meetings." They said, "We can't have op meetings anymore." I'm like, "What do you mean we can't have?" They said, "We can't have op meetings." And I couldn't believe it. And I said, "Okay, God, you're in charge of my business. We dedicated to him a long time ago. So you got to make this thing happen." I don't know how it's going to happen. They told me about this thing called Zoom. I never really used Zoom. I had spoken for one person on a Zoom meeting, but really didn't understand it, didn't know anything about it. I said, okay, we got to learn this Zoom thing. And it's been unbelievable what has happened, folks. And we thrived. We came back in that month of March while I was gone, and we did 100K in the base. And it was just amazing to me. And I said, well, maybe this Corona. And then we did 100K in April. And I was like, I like this Corona thing. I don't know what's going on, but this thing sounds pretty good to me. And then everything changed. You look at our number of people that got their watch. We had, I think there's about 19, 20 people got a 100K, got a 50K watch. This was last year in 2020. And then the rings, we had 19 new $100,000 earners. We got over 60 people now in the hierarchy have gone over $100,000 in cash. And it's funny, in this group, there are some brand new people that have been here a year in this group. And then there are some people here been here 30 years and they just got the ring. What's the message? Don't quit. 30 years in the business. I look at Leroy Oscar, 30 plus years in the business, just got his ring. Daryl Smith, 30 plus years in business, I see 2 or 3 people. I really get excited to see veterans, because many times we've been here a while, that hadn't happened. You start thinking it ain't gonna happen. No, it's gonna happen. Everything in due season. Galatians 6:9 said, let us not be weary in well doing, for surely we will reap if we faint not. These people, because they fainted not, guess what? Year 30, year 35, they got their ring. And that's all that counts, is they hung in for it. These were our milestone, multiple diamonds last year. I love what Dennis talked about. It is about the 3rd diamond. It is about ownership. And you see how many people we have positioned to ownership. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's about double-digit people that got their 2nd diamond. All these people are on target, and they will go over 300,000 this year. All of those folks. And then, of course, Kenya Tyson, who's directed the great Angie and Randy Reed Hogan's, he got his, that's her first $300,000 earner. Eric and Cynthia Newman up in Indiana got their 4th diamond. And then you'll see what happened. Elaine and I we actually, although we won over 2 million, we had not actually gotten the 20th diamond. We hit the 19th diamond. We got credit for the other codes to get us to 2 million, but we actually hit the 20th diamond in our main code. And then we went actually 8 diamonds in last year, which is stupid. But that's that. Well, actually, I think the 26, we got the 27 diamond in January, but we went 20 through 26. Alex Sanabria, Alex did 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the 18th diamond. And this year, you'll see him on salary cross over Angie and Randy Hogan's, went from the 6th diamond to the 10th diamond. Actually, she started the year at 500 because she had 6 diamonds. She went back. She went from 6 down to 5 and stayed kind of dormant for a little while, and then boom, rose up and had an incredible year. The amazing Carlos and Monica went from the 2nd diamond to the 11th diamond. They went to the 10th diamond, really through the 9th diamond in this year. They went number 10, like they're the first people to go over $1 million in 2021, and then they've already crossed to the 11th diamond. And you see a bunch of other names. Not go through the Burt Singleton, Lorenzo and Daniela. Lorenzo and Daniela have been running the #1 base shop in the entire nation. That's also on the Gforce side of our business. But Lorenzo and Daniela, I always remember a conversation with them when they were wondering, should they stay in the business. We met at the Arena Tavern, which you probably know that place, Randy, right there by the Chick-fil-A, by the home office, that little tavern. We sat over there to talk about his future. He had just made $40 and he was thinking maybe he should quit, at least go back part-time and get a job, because he felt so bad he wasn't taking care of his family the right way. They were living at her mother's house and, just a negative situation. But Lorenzo has an incredible work ethic, and he was networked to us from Willie Naranjo, and just came as a kid, didn't know anybody, rep. He moved from down in Miami with them up to Atlanta. And folks, that kid that didn't know anybody was thinking, should I go get a job? Did 200 and some $1,000s in the bait shop 2 months in a row. Been the #1 bait shop in the country. I think he's #1 right now this month between him and the Barragons. It goes back and forth. But folks, it's amazing. You can go from 40 bucks in a month to a $200,000 base shop. That's what can happen to you in this business if you what? If you don't quit. The Jeffersons, the Sanders, a bunch of people just doing incredible things. Folks, our highlight last year was us having our first direct $1 million earner. That's Angie and Randy. I remember when Angie, she was working the real estate office next to our office, so she was a part-timer. I knew Angie lightly. I didn't know her well, but I knew her. And matter of fact, my oldest son tried to recruit her for Primerica. She said, no, that wasn't her thing, but she gave him some referrals. So she gave him like 4 or 5 referrals. None of them panned out. And she didn't do anything. And then another guy was telling me, yeah, I talked to her, but she all into body magic. She was the one of the network. She all into body magic and all that kind of stuff. She ain't. I said, well, just talk to her again. I believe in just calling people back. I don't care. You call them till they die, buy, or try. One of those things. And she hadn't died, and she hadn't bought, and she hadn't tried. So we got to keep calling her. And this time he calls her at the right time. And again, folks, the story, the guy that recruited Angie did not have a car, did not have a home, and was basically living between his mom's house and our office. He'd sleep at the office all the time. And he was really a hard guy to get along with. It was amazing. This is one of the hardest guys I've ever had to get along with in my bait shop. I also re-recruited this guy. He had been a RVP with us in the 1990s and went through a bad divorce, really bad time. His wife was actually RVP, so he fell out the business. I went back and re-recruited him in 03 when I was trying to go over $1 million. I was trying to I wrote all this business. He's one of the guys I called to write an app on. I went and wrote an app on him, an app on his girlfriend, and I convinced him to come back into business. That was in 03. He didn't recruit anybody of significance until 2010. 7 years after I recruit this guy, he recruits first a girl named Gwen, who became an RVP. And then she also recruited, after Gwen, he recruited Angie. And he recruited also another girl named Felicia, who's an RVP. Both of those young ladies are 50,000 about to get their ring. And now Angie, of course, became our first $1 million earner direct to us before this guy faded out the business. So you just never know who people will bring to you. But that's a great example right there. And again, Angie, she's just doing incredible things on her way to NSD, SNSD, and beyond. We believe 2021, for those were 2020 highlights. 2021 has already started out with Carlos not only going over $1 million, but now going straight to 1.1 million. These are watches just this year. We've already had 6 people in 2021 go over $50,000. And then we've had, and I think this is not even including here. We got 2. We got somebody else that also went over. So we actually got 7 new because I'm just seeing. I think I pulled up my wrong slide. So I had another person go over 100 as well. Then we got right here, TQ. This young lady, folks, was 1 year ago, the first of the year, she was a $50,000 regional leader who just went RVP. Last year, she had an incredible year. She met Mr. Rowland. We call him the magic man because we say, get with Rowland, everything changed. He's the magic man. She married Rowland. She went from 50 to 250, just like that in her first year as an RVP. She's going for ownership right now. Kevin and Kimberly Marquez, who are part of their director, Carlos and Monica, they just went RVP, folks, in 2020. They're over $400,000 in income right now, went beyond ownership. Lorenzo and Daniela, who we were talking about to quit the company, making $40 in a month. You can go from $40 to $600,000 in income. And then, of course, the great Alex and Claudia, who at 1.9, they'll be our first $2 million earners. I expect them to go over 2 million probably by the end of March. That's what they're shooting at, the end of March, no later than April. So we've been blessed to have great people like this on our team. When you have great people on your team, it pushed us to 2.7. And actually just the night before last, we were blessed to hit 2.8. So what do we see for 2021? I talked about this on TV, and you probably didn't see it because people don't watch TV that much. But just in case, if you did see it, just act like you didn't see this before, okay? And if you didn't see it, great, it'll be your first time. But what do we have to do better in 2021, folks? I think we got to just do the same things in 2020, but we got to do it a little bit bigger. We got to have a greater faith walk for us. Christ is first in our life. It's always about putting him first. and turn our business over to him. That doesn't mean it's not a lotto ticket. It's one of those things where you give your business to Christ, and we just trust whatever happens. Although it doesn't, sometimes you see things, I'm like, Lord, that's not the way I would be driving the car. Lord, where is the car going, folks? I seen the Lord take, where car, Lord, we ain't supposed to be going. I try to get the Lord back over here, my car going over there. And I just trust, there's a lot of lessons you got to learn. And so we've been through lots of ups and downs. You got to have a greater walk with your family. I heard, Dennis talked about this, doing this business with his son, and, Carlos with his daughter. And, we're blessed. Two of our sons work at the home office, our oldest two boys. One of them is licensed in the business as well, my oldest son. And it's about your family, folks. That's real. I mean, it's God and your family. That's it. And your family. Thank God in Primerica, our family gets expanded. It's not just your blood family, but it's your teammates, it's your RVPs, your base shop. But that's your family. That's what you want to spend your time with. And you got to spend a greater time building relationships, folks, and it can be a little while we're in this kind of COVID thing where people aren't, man, it's so important to spend some time with people when you can. We've been down in Florida for like the last 6 months because we were renovating our house, and the house supposed to be ready in 3 months. So I don't know if builders like but whenever I deal with any builder, I think they take a code. There's some kind of vow they take. They say, we will not do anything that we say we're going to do. We will not finish anything when we say we're going to finish. And so he said, you'll be in that house for Thanksgiving, Sam. I did not know he was probably talking about Thanksgiving 2021, because this started in 2020. We're still not back in the house. I mean, the floors are still covered. It's like, it's getting better. It's getting closer. I think it'll be another month. But thank God we got a little condo. Primerica allowed us to have a little condo down in Northwest Florida, and we've just been down here, living down here, and it's been awesome. It's been great. Although, and we've been able to grow our income, grow our business while we're down here. Before we've spent time with relationship, guess what? I've had people come down here and spend a few days with us. It's like we're always almost entertaining somebody, one of the RVPs, some key leaders in our base shop, just come down and spend a few days down here and just get a chance to fellowship and break bread, because it's so important to me to build relationships with people. Certainly, we got to focus on our recruiting and our licensing, folks. That's so important. I don't care what season you're in, you got to get people not just in, but we got to get them licensed. They don't count till they get licensed. I don't want to just throw a number up. We've been working on, we had a lot of recruits in January. My key to our guys this month said, where are those recruits? Okay, I saw them on the leaders bulletin, but where are they in the system? Are they I know we're going to have people quit. I know everybody doesn't stick to it, but we got to follow up. You can't expect what you don't inspect. So I'm trying to do a better job, and I don't think I've done a job I need to do, but we're trying to do a better job at inspecting what's happening with those recruits, not letting them fall through the crack, and making certain that we get them in class, making certain we get them in the field, get them on appointments, get recruits up under them. And so I think by us paying more attention on our end in leadership, it's going to filter down and cause greater promotions in our base shop, promotions from district and up. It starts with district, and you can't go RVP till you go district and then build some districts. Greater cash flow. It's about making money. I heard Dennis loud and clear talking about that, man. The company say sprint the district. He said, man, I say sprint the ownership. I like your plan better, Dennis. I like sprint the ownership. You can't get wealthy at district, but you can at ownership. And we talk to people about, I said this on TV, it's not just about cash flow, but you don't need to do cash show. I see so many people just cash show. All I see is a picture of a car that you don't own or a house that you don't have the title on. Man, don't give me that fake stuff. Just worry about cash flow and then cash save. Cash flow, cash save, cash flow, cash save. Folks, I've made as many mistakes with money that anybody will make. And I've learned a lot of rules from that. I learned what gets me excited and what doesn't get me excited. So I thank God for cash flow. But at the same time, what we like to do with our cash, for my wife and I, is we just feel it's a chance for us to serve people better. That's what we talk about, greater servanthood. It's a chance for us to sow into ministries and things, and sow into other people's lives, and yes, help our family and things like that. That's what I want to do, because when I die, nobody's gonna remember, man, remember that car Dad used to drive? Remember that? No, they're gonna remember the times they spent with Dad, the conversation, the trips. We love to take family trips. And last year was on the first year we didn't take a big family trip because of all the stuff going on. But we said, hey, we got to get back on our family trip this summer. And I've told you, I don't care how old your kids get. if you pay for it, they will still come. Okay, they will still. It's amazing how free my kids get. I'm like, hey, I was gonna take y'all to Hawaii, but I don't know if y'all free. We're off, Dad. We're suddenly everybody's off. Everybody's got time. I'm like, you paying for it, right? Yeah, I'm paying for it. It's amazing. So you want to keep your kids around, just keep paying for them. And they'll keep coming around and hanging out. And I don't even care. I just like to hang out with them and go places with them and break bread with them. And it really doesn't matter where we are, whether we're going to Florida or it doesn't matter. It's just good to be with my children, be with my family, folks. Have greater gratefulness, man. I'm so grateful for Primerica. I'm so grateful that coming to a company like this, it gave me a chance to be somebody outside of Primerica, folks. I was putting bags on the airplane. That was the best job I ever had. If I didn't have Primerica in my life today, I'd probably be somewhere asking you, you want fries with that, Carlos? Some fries with that? Supersize that fry for Mr. Gonzalez there. That's what I'll be doing. I don't have special skills. Thank God Primerica can take a person like me with no special skills, no college degree, and give you a chance to make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. That doesn't happen anywhere else. You gotta be grateful for that. And this saying I saw, folks, I love this saying. And it was in a book I read by Mark Batterson. It said, you can't ever, never, always, sometimes tell. Now, where I grew up, that's actually good English, where I grew up. But some of you might be that baffled by that. We're like, well, you can't ever, never. What does that mean? That means with God, anything can happen. That's what it means. For with God, anything can happen. And our prayer every day is, oh, just surprise us. Surprise us with new people. Surprise us with open doors. Surprise us with cash flow. Surprise us with favor. You know, we ask for favor everywhere we go. We want God's favor in our lives and over our business, over our marriage, over everything that's important. I'm so grateful for the people that built this company. Folks, I thank God for the people that built Primerica, for the original 85. I thank God for Art and Angela Williams, who paid a price that none of us can even think about. I thank God Harold Crafter, my great upline, Harold and Lane, he was in that original 85, along with, Mary and Randall Walker and the great Mary Randall, and keep Mary in your prayers. Folks, see, the things will happen. Mary, of course, lost Randall. She lost her sister, Laura, who was her rock. And now Mandy, who was taking over the business, Mandy, I got a text from Mandy like the weekend before she goes to the hospital. She doesn't come out. We don't know. Mandy had just turned 50 years old. She was young, just turned 50, and suddenly she's gone. And so Mary's having to deal with that loss. But guess what? Mary is a champion. Mary's out there just doing her thing, and but she'll never. What a loss for her, folks. That's our business. With all the financial success that Mary has had and that Randall and Mary had, but they still got to deal with this thing called life. They still got to deal with the sadness, and all of us, we all got a lot of different stories on here about things that just totally unexpected. We didn't see it coming, and but we got to be grateful at the same time for everything and for our next. So I'm gonna stop my screen, and I just want to say to you all, it's been an honor to be on here with a great team of leaders like this. We're committed to fighting to make 2021 greater, fight to make 2021 our best year ever. And I want to challenge everybody on here to go and make certain that you play your role in the Gforce going to the next level. Whatever that next level is for you. And it doesn't have to be that it's not about you need the money. For me, it's just a matter of competing. If I'm gonna play the game, let me play to the best of my ability. You might beat me, that's okay. I just want to play to my best. And I play my best, you play your best, and maybe your best is better this month, and maybe my best is better next month. I don't know. But I just know I don't want to just watch the game. I want to be a participant in the game. I want to stay on the field. As long as the Lord gives me a little help, a little strength, then I'm going to keep playing this game. And for me, it's exciting to watch your new people. So the thing, I've stayed in the base shop forever. People say, why you stay in the base? Maybe I'm crazy. But, this month, next week, I'll promote my 27th first generation RVP. Next month, I got one on track, March or April, by 28th. And I think we're going for 50 now. Now we say, well, let's get 50 or 100 first generation. As long as we're here, here's what I know. Things happen. So you need some new first. Most of my business today comes from my first created since 2010. Not the ones I promoted in the 80s or the 90s or 2000 decade. It's coming from the 2010 and the 2020. And so I just know things happen. People get older. people change it, lose their vision, they lose their competitiveness, things like that happen. Guess what? My job is to keep building, keep developing new people. So as long as God gives me strength, I'm just going to keep fighting to get more RVPs. And I love the base shop because the base shop actually listens to the coach a little bit more. Now, y'all probably don't have this in y'all's hierarchy, but in my hierarchy, RVP is a little harder for me to guide sometimes than base shop than regional leaders are. So I think that keeps me in the base. Because I can tell the base shop to go left. They actually go left. I say, go right. They'll go right. I tell my RVPs, go left. They say, why? So I said, okay, I got to explain to y'all. So I'm going to keep with my base shop. So again, I think my time is right at being up anyway. So I thank y'all for the opportunity. This is one of the great hierarchies at All Primerica with some of the greatest leaders in the history of this company. And it's just been an honor for me to share with you guys this morning. Thank y'all and God bless y'all.
Man.
Sam is always awesome and always on.
Sam, thank you so much. I mean, folks, listen to me. You just listened to a master. Now, the first half of his talk, he was going through all of his names, all the pictures of his leaders, right? What he was doing is he was displaying success right underneath your nose. He was giving you the evidence of success. You can make all the excuses in the world, but you listen to Sam and have all the people and the stories behind all of those people, right? You can't run away from the evidence. It's right there. And what I love, Marcy, is he literally took us through the story of building his hierarchy.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you, folks, I mean, you just watch what I believe will be sooner than later. I believe he's going to overtake and be the #1 earner in the company. And he was gracious enough to lend us his time. Sam, you're a great man. You know how I feel about you. You're a great man, and I love that you gave this time to us. Thank you for those life lessons at the very end,
He's giving everybody a vision that what they can do for themselves and the people that they bring in this business.
Absolutely, folks. And you're going to find out that, especially you new people, all these people are speaking to you, including Sam, they come from all different backgrounds. Some professional corporate backgrounds, they left for this, okay? Some, they owned their own businesses, finding out that wasn't it, so they left for this, okay? Some are students, and they went right into this. Folks from all walks of life, people are coming here, and they all, just like Sam, they all start just like you. They have the same fears, they have the same frustrations, they have the same doubts. They had the same amount of people say no thank you, had the same amount of people said thank you. And folks, it's all the same. It's a matter of what you choose to do with this. And Sam, I can't thank you as much as, I mean, this is just amazing what you did for us. And thank you so much, my man. God bless you. Marcy?
We're ready.
It's time for us to let it roll.
Next
because
round of recognition.
And this recognition is for our premium contenders through the contest period. And we're going to start, like I said, we did before, with our future RVPs. Marcy, let it rip.
Future RVPs, number 25, Maribel Infante. Number 24, Cecilia and Joe Goodland. Number 23, Todd and Connie Kelly. Number 22, Laura Garcia. Number 21, Daria Weatherspoon. 20, Ashley Trejo. 19, Diane Houston. 18, Barbara and Charles Tiamoa. 17, Amy Salinas. 16, Teresa and Joey Cantu. Number 15, Marcus and Shay Wilkins out of the Guthrie base. Number 14, Jessilee Ang and Michael Alburo. Number 13, Lauren Garza. Number 12, Cecilia and Edward Arredondo. And number 11, Christian Sanchez.
Wow, and top 10 gets the gray t-shirts for the day here. Here we go. Number 10 is Esther and Arnold Garcia. Number 9, Kyle and Stella Crowell. Number 8 is Jeremiah and Lily Drake, now RVPs. Number 7, we got Anthony and Myra Gayton. Number 6, James and Sarah Hernandez. Number 5, now regional vice presidents are Whitney and Jermaine Walker. Number 4, we have Margie and Ember Akaya Navarro. And then number 3, we have Joanna and Lizeth Gomez. Then number 2, brand new RVP now, is Ella Webster and Candace Jones. And there is only one.
Number 1.
Yes, here they are, now RVPs. Power Builder winner is Sish and Britt Rimson. Way to go, Sish. Proud of you, buddy.
Proud of those folks.
And now we're on to the RVP category. Let's go, Mars. Who we got?
So we have for Base Shop Premium, number 25, Ali Resendez. Number 24, Jaime Cantanilla. 23, Sandy and Monica Morales. 22, Stephen and Lana Newton. 21, Randy and Marcy Godfrey.
Yes,
Woohoo!
still going.
We're still going strong.
Not
here.
quite like Sam, but
I
we're
know.
still in the base. Not quite like Sam.
Okay, number 20, Pete and Nellie Tiarina. Number 19, Craig and Gina Morgan. 18, Glenn and Gayleen Soriano. 17, Eddie and Susanna Barrera. 16, Sandra Radaza and Cheeto Radaza. 15, Hermie and Chris Gamueda.
There you go, Hermie.
14, Luis and Alejandro
Yeah,
Mier.
Luis.
13, Janicia
Yeah.
and Anthony
Woo.
Brooks. 12, Letty and Tony Rodriguez.
Letty.
11, Carlos Gonzalez and
Boom.
Kayla Gonzalez.
And top 10, get the shirts. Here we go. Number 10 is Patrick Domingo and Teresa Chi. Number 9 is Carlos and Mary Arana. Number 8, Mario and Taz Hinojosa. Number 7, we got Hugo and Maria Sanchez. And number 6, we have Kobe and Chastity Roberts. Number 5 is Laura and Robert Balls. Way to go, Laura. Number 4, the great Angie and Henry Guerra. Number 3, Mike and Lisa Chaffin. And number 2, unbelievable, number 2 Base Shop and Premium, we have Mark and Sandy Yazapovic. And there's only one.
Number 1.
And number 1 for this virtual leadership summit, we have Reggie and Charity Reed with $322,000 in premium during the contest time. This is his second number 1 honor. He gets 2 number 1 plaques coming his way. Man, unbelievable. Okay, folks, listen. We have our second round now, our second session of speakers. Again, these speakers average $531,000, not including Sam, not including all our $1 million earners per year. You take notes, you get ready. Listen, I selected this team. First of all, these people had to appear on at least one top 10 list, but I gave great weight to hierarchy size and cash flow. Cash flow paid a big, made a big difference in this selection here and your hierarchy. Plus, we have a number of people that are on the bubble to go over $1 million, and we wanted you to hear from them too. And so here they go. First of all, we got from, make sure I get them all. Yeah, here we go. We got from Alberta, Canada. It's actually Calgary. He's out of Calgary. Been there a few times. Had some great experience in Calgary. But we have the NSD Bob Graham. Right now, Bob's making $717,000. He's on his way to getting the Ruby Ring. And then right after Bob, he's going to introduce Levy Spillane. Levy, of course, the partner of the late Jim Spillane. She has taken over the reins. Great testimony to the power of partnership. And her last 12 months income out of Austin, Texas, $670,000 last 12 months, unbelievable. Then we have from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, SVP Roy Kern, $391,000, about to go over 400 grand. And then after Roy, we have Mario Hinojosa out of Austin, Texas, over $424,000 last 12 months. And then right after Mario, he's introducing the great SVP David Lipsett. David over $535,000 just in his original code, way over $600,000 in total ownership codes. Can't wait to hear from David out of San Antonio. And then from Vancouver, British Columbia, we have the great SVP, great friends of ours. We love hanging out with these people. We don't get to do it as much as we'd like. But SVP Mike Gatto, and he's making over $443,000 a year right now, on his way to $500,000. And then we have SNSD Kim Carver out of Dallas, Texas. Kim is just about to go over 700 grand. He's at 691,000. And then, folks, we are. Did I mess up?
Yes.
Have I messed this whole? Have I messed this whole thing up?
No, you haven't messed up. You just have
what did I mess
you just
up?
went a little too far.
Well, wait a minute. Where do I go? Where do I stop?
You should have stopped after.
No, wait a minute. Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm on the wrong. Hey guys, I'm on the wrong agenda here. Hold on. Okay, I bet Graham's probably freaking out right now. So anyway, we got Graham, we got Spillane, we got Roy, we got Hinojosa, and then after Mark, yeah, Mark's kind of going, oh, Godfrey messed up now. Mark, we got $1 Million earner. Mark Yazapovic is going to close this session out. I gave you a preview of the next session too. And then we're going to recognize all of our security earners. So folks, you better get ready. They're going to blow you away, ending with our $1 Million earner, Mark Yazapovic. Bob, take it away, buddy.
Hey, Randy, thanks so much. How's the G-Force? Hey, listen, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, listening to Randy, I can remember 25 years ago, me and Carlos sitting in a room as regional leaders, and Randy's talking about someday you're going to make $8,000 a month. And I'm like, man, I just wish that's going to happen. So first of all, I want to thank all the incredible leaders, the speakers that spoke before us. And, you know, Sam Shepard, this company is just filled with so many given people, so many great leaders. You know, Jasmine and her team are down in Atlanta, and you know, Sam and his wife spent a weekend with her, took her to church, took her for dinner. And you can't find a company that's that giving. So I want to thank you personally for that, Sam, and for all the leadership. We are just so blessed. Our base shop for 25 years, RVP's incredible, doing an incredible job. The company recognized Rosa, Marcel, Marion, Idris, and Tammy, and Pinder team with MVPs. They're breaking records in the last couple of months. So proud of everybody. But I always worry about the newest person that is sitting there like I was 28 years ago, go, well, why me? There's 2,000 people. Why should I win? My question is, why shouldn't you? The company is great for what we do for the consumer. Man, I heard one of the speakers say, what's your why? My parents had 8 insurance policies paying $1,000 a month. Hey, that was my why, the ripoff in the insurance industry. I just got off a call from a guy who's got $600,000 at the bank and earned minus 5% last year. He's down $16,000 in the best year we've had in 30 years. He's blown away, you know, so I got a few points for the people just getting started. Because if you're just like me and you can't sleep at night, say, I want to win. See, when I come in the business, Mark's making $300,000, Godfrey's making $400,000. I go, I don't know if I can, but you know what? I want to win. So first of all, you got to believe you can. Okay, study the system, study the goodness of the company. You got to believe it's worth it. And I will tell you, as the years go by, you look back and go, thank God I do this. It is better than you ever dreamed, you know? So out of 2,000 people, why not you? Why not you be the next? Okay, so how do you get there? Number 2, 90% of winning's being excited. I was excited. I had hope in my life. I could do this thing, man. It's going to be unbelievable. But add to it, you got to show up. Okay, you can't just show up when you feel like it. You can't, oh, it's snowing, it's Christmas, it's summer, it's COVID. You got to show up to win, to everything, and you get a little bit better every day. Don't let the negative naysayers steal your dreams. Your buddies that said, no, I don't want to. Understand 30 years ago, they said I was part of this pyramid and I went nuts because I quit my corporate job. And now they're phoning me for advice because they're down 16,000. Now I'm paying death claims in my hometown. They're saying, thank God Bob had the tenacity to keep going. That's going to happen to you, but only if you're here. Do your distractions get in the way? Yeah, but I got to do it for my kids. And this, my kids are both joining the business. I'm more excited 30 years later than when I started. I started here single with Rhonda. So here's from Tammy. I love this. Excuses only sound good to the people saying them. Wow, I'm going to use that one. That is amazing because everybody's full of excuses. So let's go to the part-timer. See, we started full-time. And you're part-time, you want to win here? But you're comfortable. You got paycheck coming in. You got family. You got all that stuff. See, my son works a job. My daughter works a job. So why should they do this? Because they know it's their way out. And they also know it can happen for them because they know their dad. See, I'm telling you, if you're part-time, it can happen for you, but only when you make a decision and get it going, okay? Things are only going to work, and I heard a bit of that today. You got to find out what motivates you. I wasn't motivated doing a job for 45 years. I wanted to get out of being broke. I showed up here so broke. I didn't have $40 to my name, so I wanted to win. I don't know about you guys, so don't use that as an excuse. Well, I got no money. That should be an excuse. You do the business, okay? So think about just getting free 10 years from now. I'm on a 10-year run. I'll be 65 years old in 10 years. Man, the next 10 years is going to be unbelievable. But you got to figure out what's holding you back. What's that one thing you're scared of if you're brand new? Well, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can pass the test. I'm not good at math. I don't know anybody in my community. I'm scared of public speaking. Welcome to the club. That is every one of us to start here. but every day we get a little bit better. You know, it's unbelievable. I was so darn scared about everything, but I also wanted to win. So just keep coming around for a while and just keep getting a little better and just keep practicing. I seen Yaz at the front of the room and go, it looks like he's acting. Hang on, he's making 400,000. Maybe I'm going to try a little acting instead of sitting at the back room going, that's not me. Make it become you. Become a great leader. So find a few foxhole buddies. Whether you've been here for a while or you're brand new, find a few people that go into business. We were blessed with some great people and eventually become RVPs early on in our business. And we just had fun getting after the industry. And, you know, so if you want to be the next success story on Godfrey's Gforce hierarchy, you be the one because a decision and go find some directs. We're, you know, to see Sam just talk about 27 direct RVPs. That's why he's making $2 million. Okay. The next I would guess would be Carlos over $1 million. Why? He has 1,200 codes. I got 300. He's going next. It's hard to compete. Does that make sense? You go, man, I only got one. We all start with one. It's your decision to go build it. So let me tell you about old school and new school. Old school is we're taught 5x5 to RVP, 2 to 3 directs, 3 to 5,000. Start doing that. You start making money, leading your team as you get others developing, and you start doing 10x10, 20x20 on your way to RVP. That's old school. Okay, new school, Zoom boom. Unbelievable. This is our first RSP season with Zoom. I got guys who go, hey, I did 5,000, did 20,000, did 10. It sounds like an auctioneer. I say, unbelievable. We've done $8 million the last 2 months. I used to have to drive to Millerville an hour for a $30 pack. It is amazing what Zoom can bring to our business. Now, it took us a year to pick that up, but if you're great at technology, you're great and you're a millennial, you can explode this thing like some success stories we're seeing in Primerica, that people are going 0 to $1 million in 3 years. Okay, us old guys are trying to figure out, right, Randy? Zoom and YouTube videos and this and that, but we'll eventually figure it out. Think of 10 years from now, we look back and go, remember when we didn't have Zoom? Remember we actually drove to appointments? See, 25 years ago, we didn't have cell phones. We drove 3 hours, got outside, used a payphone to book appointments, and they've still paid us millions of dollars. See, the possibilities are absolutely phenomenal if you just understand what we got a hold of. And the company is built with the newest person chasing to get that 100,000, 200,000. So in closing, why don't you just be serious with yourself? What other choice you got? What other companies allowing you to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, travel the world, work with friends, have a purpose in life? This is it. This is your shot. If you leave here, good luck. Because for a guy and gal like me, there ain't another shot, right? This is it. So I had nowhere else to go. And thank God I look back that, you know, thank my wife and kids for supporting me, just working hard, because the system is the most unbelievable thing. So this is your shot. Your time's coming. Imagine how great it's going to feel 18, 24, 36 months from now. You're making 10, 20, 30,000 a month. You're making 1,000 every day. This company pays checks every night. And you look back 10 years from now and you go, man, so glad I did. Man, I just, you know, I look back and go, what if I missed it? And some people along the way have missed it. I feel so sorry for them. So here's another one of Tammy's lines. It'll deliver for you when you choose to get after it. Teammates, let's get after it. We'll see you at the top. I'm going to send it over to Levy Spillane. Let's take it away. $600,000 earner. Proud to be your teammates.
Thank you, Randy and Marcy Godfrey, for the opportunity to speak today. I want to give a shout out to the Spillane hierarchy and to the Spillane powerhouse team. I want to speak today about failure and success. You know, we all heard the phrase that the difference between winning and losing is this much. And I believe that failure is a doorway on your path to success. And we may be running right now towards success, but when we get confronted with a door labeled failure, we get paralyzed, right? We stop. So we don't know what to do from there, but we don't know that failure teaches us a lot of things. Failure teaches us how to go ahead, how to have compassion over people. They teach us how to have an understanding of where people are coming from, because we have failed before. And there's nothing, failure is actually priceless, you know? You cannot buy it. You cannot, it teaches us humility. You cannot buy, you have to go through it. There's no way to go through it without going through it, right? You understand what it means? It disciplines us and teaches us compassion. It's a sign that what you have believed has reached the limits. So you need a new set of beliefs, a new set of a higher dimension of belief to continue. It is the ultimate motivator. Failure teaches us discernment because you never know who people really are until you fail. And actually that same failure becomes your testimony. We need to learn from that experience by becoming better, not bitter. You might be facing that door right now. So I wanna encourage you, let failure salute you when you pass by that door. I wanna speak to the veterans in this business. Let us hear your story. Let us see your scars. Let you be the testimony of endurance and compassion. Teach us by example what is really important in life. I want to speak to the new people, to the women that are coming in and feeling like they don't have a name, a title, they don't have any background. I want to tell you that you are poised for success in Primerica. We have that method of success, not a method, but the method of success. We are mentorship and training. It all starts with a decision and determination to submit yourself. In Primerica, we call it being coachable. Success comes with growth. Just like faith comes, success comes with growth. There's 3 pursuits in life: God, family, and your assignment, your pursuit, your whatever your purpose is in life. We are so blessed to have a company that will allow us to put the same 3 things in the same order. How lucky are we? Your yesterday should leave you for your tomorrow to come. If your yesterday follows you and you're still in yesterday, if it follows you to your today, then you're still on yesterday. We need to fashion our mindset. We need to change our mindset, redefine the concept of success. For me, that is very simple. It is being so fully blessed in life and still make it to heaven. Go for knowledge, guys. The Bible says that we perish for lack of knowledge. Go for knowledge. Change our habits. Success and failure are both of them are predictable by doing what we're doing right now, but what our habits are. The Bible says that we need to borrow vessels, right, to increase our capacity. And in Primerica, we call it recruiting. There's only one thing I know, guys, and it's forgetting all things that lie behind us. And we press on. So I want to encourage you to stop. We cannot continue to complain about the same pain of yesterday. Who quit yesterday? People that did not appreciate us yesterday. We need to let go, right? We need to arise and let whatever depressed us and whatever discouragement we had yesterday, to let it go. Whatever frustrated us yesterday. So we need to just, whatever circumstances was escaping us from coming to our today. So just come to yourselves, come to your senses. We can start again. I love the word again and again and again, because it's a wonderful word. We have to get up again. We have to do it again. So I think I love it. So we need to start again. It requires courage. It's not easy. Nobody says this was easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So guess what? When we get there, we pass through the door of failure. So I just want to encourage you to press on through that door and press on for a better life. And we need to have a sustainable power to remain. Thank you so much. Roy, take it away.
Thanks so much, Levy. Hey guys, what an awesome day so far. I'm just going to throw some stuff at you that has impacted me recently. In Canada, and I apologize for America, but I think the numbers are pretty much the same. There was just a report released called the Broadbent Report, and the title of the report is Retirement Disaster Looming. And listen to this, guys. If you're 55 to 65 years of age in Canada, and you've worked 40 to 45 years at a job, you're between 55 and 65. The average person who makes 25 to 50,000 has got a whopping $250 saved for retirement. If you make 50 to 100,000, which most people would consider that's an okay income, you have a whopping $21,000 saved. And the reason that impacts me is we need to go out and really build our teams like never before. I think the business is going to take some courage. I'll talk about that at the end, but you understand the world needs us more than ever. And what I see a lot is people are posing these days. I mean, we're recruiting people that are making okay incomes. We had a couple people just come full time that made 60 and 80,000, and people are not saving they're posing. They've got the best phones, they're driving nice cars, but very few people are retiring. And when I read that report, what I thought about you guys is this. Imagine if we did a survey of people that have been with Primerica for 30 to 40 years, and what kind of savings would they have? Hey, last time Randy was in town, when it was legal for Americans to come to Canada, he was nice enough to take us all out for a dinner, and he sneezed and $20,000 came out of his pockets. And think about what kind of money he's got saved. As an ex-football player, I apologize. I might have knocked Debbie Wilkins right over a table. We have a wing in our house now called the Godfrey ring. I just bring pepper every time I go for dinner with that guy because you can make a lot of extra money. I should add that into my cash flow. But guys, it's absolutely frightening out there. And then I look at our company, and Jan and I came here. We've been here 23 years, no background in financial services. Jan used to read Cosmo. That's where she got her money lessons from. I ran a gym, so I was a meathead, and owned gyms and knew how to lift weights, and that was about it. And never in our wildest dreams did we think we'd get into financial services. So for those of you that are new on the call today, or if you're just starting out with Primerica, what I love is all the people who spoke to you today, we've all come from different backgrounds. I don't know anyone on the call who actually has a financial services background. See, all that's required here, guys, is a work ethic. And you have to ask yourself, do I have a work ethic? It always amazes me that people come into Primerica and they take the freedom a little too seriously, a little too quickly. Okay? Do you have a positive attitude? I've never met anybody that I said, are you positive? And they're positive that things are going wrong. Do you have a positive attitude? And lastly, do you have courage? See, when I think about it, folks, anytime we watch a movie or we watch a sporting event, the mighty Toronto Maple Leafs winning another game, why do we admire, like if you watch a movie and it moves you, it's always because someone in there had courage and did something and stepped out of a comfort zone. I think about that with the people that I sent a message to Dennis and Mark last week. We were on this hockey blog together. They both very frankly annoy me like crazy when it comes to that. But I said, do you guys understand if you didn't have the courage to step out, where would Roy and Jan be right now? See, if Randy and Marcy Godfrey never had the courage to start their business, maybe none of us are here. Maybe we're all making, we're all working with Sam Shepard at McDonald's. So I love that, think about that, folks. When you have to make a phone call, when you have to do a prospecting interview, all those things take courage, and it's courage that moves your business. We're blessed enough to work directly with Mark and Sandy Ozapave. Mark was a hockey goalie, and guys, he's old enough that when he played, he didn't wear a mask. 40, 50 pucks to the head. There's times we meet with him, and he'll just blank out. He'll say, let me tell you what, and then he just stops. And then we turn to Sandy for advice. Well, she went through her medical thing. She's peeing her pants. He's not saying anything. But you know what? We admire them like crazy because they're courageous. Actually, they're great coaches. I'm being a goof. But guys, look at the stuff they fought through, and that's why we admire them. And my favorite video in Primerica is Mark's video when he talks about at the end. He said, "Guys, the cars are great, the money's great, the houses are great, but at the end of the day, I'm so proud of the guy looking back at me in the mirror." And that's what I think Primerica gives you. It's just amazing to be able to impact other people's lives. We just had one of our directs, the Davlas, go over 250,000 of income last week. And it wasn't us doing it. It's just us. All Jan and I do is I lead, make money, and away we go. So I appreciate the time, guys. I'd like to turn it over to the incredible, even though we've never met. I practiced your name for 4 hours last night. The incredible Mario Hinojosa.
Hey, Roy, thank you so much. So down here we say Mario, but either way, it's all good, man. Hey, I've got 7 points for you guys today, and I'm so excited for you guys that are on here. You're learning, you're absorbing, you're taking notes, you're hearing all this, and you're getting motivated by everything that's going on. So you guys are the right type of people that are doing that kind of stuff. I've got 7 points for you that helped us win, right? This last year, 2020, we made $428,000. Got our third diamond, got our fourth diamond last year, and we can't wait. And we promoted out 2 RVPs in the last 6 months, and so we're working, we're rebuilding our base and doing something big, right? But so proud of the team that we have, and can't wait till we move forward. So 7 points. Number 1, you got to expect to win. I know that in this business, life can beat you up really, really fast, and if you got to just expect to win. You got to know that you're supposed to win, and you're supposed to win in a big way. Remember that life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you see great things in your future, you're gonna create that reality. You've got to start working towards that reality. You've got to see yourself leading a hierarchy like Randy does. You got to see yourself leading a big base shop like some of the leaders on this team. You got to see yourself as a successful person, right? And so number 2, so you got to expect to win. Number 2, you got to look into the future to see your future self and what choices are important for you to make now, right? That's one thing I think Tess and I did quite well on. We were always thinking like 10 years ahead, 15 years ahead. Even right now I'm 44, but I'm thinking about 54, and I'm thinking about 64, and what kind of life I want to have, and what kind of net worth we want to have. That's what we're thinking about, right? You got to look into into the future to see what kind of life you're designing for yourself. Number 3, you got to decide that there's no alternatives. You know, one of the reasons why we won is there was no plan B. This was where we planted our flag. This is where we were going to go do something big. It was here or nowhere. We were going to be successful, right? And I believe that there's some of you guys that you haven't decided. You haven't said that this is where you're planting your flag, and that's what we did. We didn't care what happened around us, up, down, anywhere. We were going to go win here, and we were going to make it happen. So decide that there's no alternatives. Number 4, you got to understand your past does not equal your future, just like a mutual fund. Past results don't equal future results, right? So your past doesn't equal your future. Some of you guys have beaten yourself up quite a bit. You feel down, you feel rejected. You know, you had someone beat you up a little bit. Guess what? Start reading that Bible where it says that you're made in His image, right? And if you're made in His image, then you've got to feel great about yourself, right? And you got to work on your self-esteem. You got to work on those type of things. I know I had to work on that, but your past doesn't equal your future. There was a point where we weren't winning, and when we turned it around 2.5 years later, we were winning, and then we kept on winning, right? Number 5, big results come from big activity. Guys, you can't expect small and get big. Like one of the things that's on my dream list, I want to go buy a Ferrari. We're not there yet. We've got $1.3 million saved up, but we're not where I want to actually go buy a Ferrari just yet, right? And so, but when we do, I understand that if it's a $280,000 car, I can't offer them $28,000 and get a Ferrari. You've got to pay the price, right? Number 6, there's no substitute for hard work. Guys, you've got to work hard. You got to work hard. You've got to understand that it's about working hard. How many appointments are you on every single day, right? Do you have appointments after the meeting today? Do you have appointments tomorrow? Do you have appointments on Monday? Are you going to finish out the month strong? What are you going to do, right? We have to make sure that we're always on appointments. There's no substitute for hard work. Number 7, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, guys. Sometimes I'm not this overly R type of personality where everybody thinks I'm warm and fussy. I don't need to go hold your hand and light a candle and sing Kumbaya. That's not my personality. But I do care about people. I do love people, right? But they've got to know that. And by the way, you're in the people business. One thing that you've got to learn is you got to learn how to apologize. I've made a ton of mistakes. I've probably made a few. I probably offended a couple of you so far right now, right? You got to learn how to apologize. You got to learn how to forgive. There's so many people out there that they've wronged you. Forgive them. You can't move forward not forgiving people, right? But you're in the people business. Love on people. You're not perfect. No one else is, right? Sometimes we judge others based on their actions, but we judge ourselves based on our intentions. We can't do that anymore. Guys, we got to grow. We got to change. Next, I want to introduce this amazing leader. He and his beautiful wife spent a little bit of time with us to coach us and lead us. And they're again, heroes in business. We've always looked up to you guys. So the incredible Mark Yasipovic.
Great, thanks you guys. Great job, and great job to all the speakers so far. Coach Dennis, I love it. You always bring it, buddy. Loved your talk today. And to our 2 teammates that spoke today, Bob Graham and Roy Kern. So proud of you guys. Fantastic, fantastic job. My topic is on team building, and it's quite fitting that we're talking about it when two of our teammates spoke on this call today. But Primerica is a team sport, you guys, and no one comes to Primerica to be alone. People see a business opportunity and a business system that works. What? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, someone's looking for me. People see a business opportunity, a business system that works even when they don't, a 24/7 system that can create income with freedom, and they get excited about that. But the reality is, although that's available to every single one of us, most don't achieve it. And I know you might be thinking, well, yeah, that's kind of negative, isn't it? I came to this broadcast day to learn about hope and you know, have some good things happen to me. Why are you telling me most people don't achieve that freedom you talked about? Well, the hope is I'm going to share with you why they don't. Because we can identify the issue that wipes most people out. Isn't that a hopeful thing? So let me tell you what that issue is, what's required. What's missing for most people, why they don't make it, is they don't develop as a leader. You got to be a leader to be a team builder. And that starts right now when you're brand new. And that's why I want to talk to you the next couple minutes. See, a team needs a leader. People follow leaders, and leaders empower people. So you need to learn to be a leader. Let me tell you what a leader isn't. A leader isn't someone who's got his armor or her armor on. They're on a nice big horse with their sword and they're swinging with confidence and wiping out the enemy. Like no fear. That's not a leader. You know what a leader is? Someone who's alone in the dark and they're scared to death, but they make moves anyway. They're positive anyway. They're reaching out to others anyway. That's where leadership is developed. When you're alone and you're scared and it's dark and you're all by yourself. That's where leadership first forms. You heard a lot of things today to help you, like reading books and doing activities, actionable things, setting appointments, going appointments that build your leadership muscle. But let me quickly give you 2 stages of where leadership grows. Okay, before RVP and after RVP. Let's talk about before RVP. It starts as a trainee. Oh, I know you thought that maybe someone just hit you on the head with a little wand and you'd become a leader all of a sudden. No, it doesn't work like that. Becoming a leader is a work in progress. I want to ask you trainees to ask yourselves some questions. Do you return the calls to your field trainer right away, or do you hide because you're not winning right now, or you're not feeling too good about your opportunity right now? Are you working hard and asking for our time, or are you waiting for us to hunt you down? Are you proactive, like coming up with ideas and asking your trainer, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think? And those kinds of things. Are you welcoming your new recruits with notes of appreciation and rallying them to the next meeting? Or are you leaving it all up to your field trainer to do? Folks, we're building your team. You guys start taking a leadership role right now, today, so that those folks have the respect of you. That's important because respect is earned. How about the agents? Are you calling the plays, running the plays your RVP runs? Are you repeating it and telling them that's exactly right, that's what we're doing? Or do you pull your team aside and say, we're not doing that? Welcome to the kiss of death if that's what you're doing. Because you have to be in sync. You have to be in alignment with your uplines. You have to be on a team first before you can have a team, folks. Make no mistake about it. Are you on the scoreboard, agents? And are you ahead of all your people? Are you fighting to be the best in your office? Or are you waiting for somebody else to go do it? Folks, I want to ask you another question. If you're an agent, are you majoring in the major things or are you minoring in the minor things? What's a major thing? Prospecting, setting appointments, performing appointments. What's minor things? Spending all day in a form home office is screwing up 1,000 times and actually thinking you worked that day. Leaders are also responsible. Agents, are you following up with your APSs and your doctors things and your parameds and paperwork that needs to keep your sales on the books, or are you a one and done person? We can't find you anymore. And your upline has to follow up with your clients. That's not a leader. So see that they're little things, folks. They're not big things, but they all matter. And the biggest one I want to share with you agents is, do you fight through life's curveballs and challenges? Or do you have an on and off switch? Meaning life is good, I'm in Primerica. Life is tough, I'm out of Primerica. Life is good, hey, I'm back. Life is tough, we can't find you. Folks, you got to get rid of that switch. And you got to keep it on all the time. Tape it on. And no matter what life throws at you, you're growing your business to full ownership like our coach Dennis talked about today. And folks, if you're not doing that, if you're in and out, in and out, in and out, why are you wondering why you don't have a team? There should be no question why you don't have one. People need consistency. They don't need a Jekyll and Hyde leader. They don't know if they got the good guy or the weird guy or gal today. You've got to be consistent in your attitude and your activity. It's not hard to do. It'll make you a fortune, and it'll build you a team that loves you and can't wait to go win with you, okay? RVPs, real quick, are you duplicating yourself? Your number one job as an RVP is to duplicate and produce more leaders. Are you? And if not, is the picture worth duplicating? That's a tough thing I just said. But folks, we always got to look inside and ask what we could be doing better. If you haven't, or an RV, if you're not an RVP yet, is the picture worth duplicating? If you're an RVP, don't have an RVP yet, is the picture worth duplicating? Let's all get better so we can be these great carbon copies. Folks, Sandy and I wanted to be like Dennis and Sean. Sandy and I wanted to be like Randy and Marcy. We wanted to be like Mike and Stephanie because they emulated what we were going after. And Craig Morgan, I want to just thank you for today again, because had it not been for you doing that appointment and recruiting Dennis and Sean Viant, where would we all be today? You know, so we want to be like all these people. So work on your leadership, work hard and work on your leadership, and everything else follows. Work hard on appointments and work on your leadership, everything else follows. Last couple of minutes I got, I want to introduce to you 3 leaders that are going to be new regional vice presidents on this team. So if you guys could come back up here on the thing, and I'm going to move the camera back so we can all fit in this deal here right now. So we're in my garage, my studio, and I'm going to kind of hang in the middle. You guys kind of coming around me. Randy, Marcy, this hierarchy's going from 5 new RVPs this year to 8. Because 3 RVPs are coming out of this base shop by the end of March. And these are not microwave RVPs, I'll tell you. These are journeymen and women in the business. They're all consistent leaders. And here's what their numbers were average per month all last year in 2020. Jimmy and Sarah Hernandez averaged 15 recruits, 16,500 a premium per month all year. Kyle and Stella Crowell. Stella couldn't be with us today, and she is a pistol, but they are a great partnership. They averaged 13 recruits, 12,600 last year. And Barbara and Charles Entiamoa averaged 7 recruits, 10,250 last year. All of these, every month through the COVID year. And all of these folks are great partnerships. They all are very special. But one stands out today that I want to just highlight, and that's Barbara and Charles Entiamoa. And I want to just tell you something about them. They had their best year ever in 2020. In December, they did 7 recruits and 15,000 a premium. And last year, they suffered through the sadness of losing 6 family members that passed away. So they went through all that sadness, but like true leaders, they won anyway and earned their $50,000 watch. And we wanted to make sure you guys all got to see those puppies. And we're going to recognize brand new 50 granders and 3 new RVPs. Let's congratulate Barbara, Charles, and Tia. Randy, take it away, buddy.
Man, I love that. I love that ending. Mark, thank you so much. Again, Mark is one of the great teachers we got, one of the great leaders we have in all of Primerica. We're just fortunate we have him on Gforce too. I love the Gforce gear. Man, I love meeting future RVPs too. Mark, I want to personally congratulate you with your base shop. I mean, you were competing all the way through in recruiting, premium, and man, you lead by example. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you very much. And Marcy, we're ready to rock and roll, right?
Rock and roll.
So we're ready now. We want to talk, but listen to me. We help families, you know, in protecting their income through pure term insurance. We also help families in creating a retirement income through investing the difference through good, sound managed accounts, good, sound mutual funds. And these are the people that are doing the job to make sure people can retire in dignity. And we're going to start with our securities winners in future RVP category. Take it away, Marcy.
So, starting off here with number 25, division leader Tony and Betsy Howard. 24, Michael and Jackie Archimede. Number 23, Bart and Aaron Vanucci. Number 22, Sergio and Anita Rodriguez. Number 21, Carl Cherwin and Elena Padpad. Number 20, Mirza and Annalise Zukanovic.
I think that was good. You did it good. Yeah, that was good. That was
I
good.
apologize if I messed it up. I'm so sorry.
Out of Vancouver, you know?
I know.
I don't know they're from Vancouver, but they're out of
Probably not. But 19, Kayla and Aaron Simmons. Number 18, Mike and Shell Davidson. Number 17, David Coey. Number 16, Puspa and Scott Todd. Number 15, Andrea Burgett and Eric Whaling. Number 14, Tyler Mueller. Number 13, Dean Peruzzi and Kathy Tang. Number 12, Manuel and Stephanie Noel. And number 11, Jennifer Hess.
Woo! And now our top 10 finishers, future RVPs in the securities category. Here they are. Number 10, Andres and Douglas Rivas. Number 9 is BJ Smithers. Number 8, Tara and Sandy Blight. Number 7, we have David and Rhonda Gradberg. Number 6, JC and Floyd Morris. Number 5 is Samuel and Cassie Davis. Number 4, Graham and June Johnson. Number 3 is Andrea and Aaron Glazier. Number 2 is Katie Pegg and Mike Woods. And there's only one.
Number 1.
Our number 1 finisher in the future RVP category is Randy and Terry Reimer out of the Corey Brown Bay Shop. Congratulations, you two. Proud of you. Get the number 1 plaque.
All right, well, I won't have any trouble with this pronunciation. So now we have RVPs and up, total securities volume. Number 25, Scott and Georgia Godfrey.
Yay, Scott, way to go again.
Number 24, Adam and Carly Turgeon. Number 23, Daryl and Laura Stephenson. Number 22, Randy and Jan Norman.
Hey, Randy.
Number 21, Sue and Jared Rogan.
Woo.
Number 20, Corey and Lucy Schmidt.
Yeah, Corey.
19, Vish and Kelly Prasad.
Go Vish.
18, Ben and Melinda Terry.
Hey, Ben, you like me yelling in your ear like that?
No,
Okay,
I don't,
go
honey.
Go ahead. Go, Ben.
Number 17, Roy and Jan Kern.
Way to go, Roy. Great talk.
Number 16, Mike and Sonia Gatto. Number 15, Steve and Robin Bentic.
Yes.
Number 14, Guy and Carmen Fedora. Number 13, Majid and Nada DeBlay.
Yes.
I always mispronounce y'all's names, but number 12, Michael and Catherine Kofer. And number 11, Jim and Teresa Stark.
Way to go, Jimbo. Hey, here we go.
You were
top
almost
10.
top 10.
Yeah, Jim, you were number 11. You got to get with it, man. Hey, top 10, here we go. Number 10, Freddie and Callie Troutmiller. Number 9 is Marion Lintick and Brittany Toe. I think it's either Toe or Tough. I like Tough, actually. So anyway.
We can change it.
Yeah,
for
we
this
could.
purpose.
Yeah. So number 8 is John and Gail Ash.
Awesome.
Number 7, Mike and Marnie Langrell. Way to go, Michael. Number 6 is Brad and Megan Stokey. Number 5, Bob and Rhonda Graham. Way to go, Bob. Number 4, Corey and Nicole Brown. And number 3, great Johnny and Nicole Birchfield. Number 2, unbelievable leader, David and Vanessa Lipset. And there's only one.
Number 1.
Hey, our number 1 finisher in the Bay Shop is one of our $1 million earners. He started the training off today, and that is the fabulous Mark and Deborah Penny, number 1.
Awesome.
And so, folks, you ready for session 3? Here we go. I mean, this is unbelievable. I went ahead and gave you their income numbers already because I went way ahead of the agenda here. But so you get ready. Here we go. We got David Lipset coming at you, Mike Gatto, Kim Carver, and 2-time number 1 finisher in the base, Reggie Reed. And then we have a special message on partnership from the great and wonderful and precious and beautiful and gorgeous Marcy Godfrey. So right now I have the privilege of turning this session over to the fabulous David Lipset from San Antonio, Texas. Love you, David. Take it away.
Thanks, Randy. Man, what a broadcast this has been. I hope everybody can hear me. I'm going to share my screen in a second, and I'm only going to share it for a few seconds because I want you to take a snapshot of it so that you can have notes. I only have two pages on my PowerPoint today, but I just have a quick idea that I want you guys to kind of wrap around, and what it is new beginnings, new decisions. I believe that this whole weekend right now is about new decisions. I know that Randy, you and I had talked about speaking to the newest people here, some of the people that are just launching their business, but I believe that no matter where you are in the business today, that it's about new decisions. It really is. Now, I know that 36 years ago, March 22nd is going to be my 36th year, I had to make a decision. And what I want to talk to you about is the true freedom of going for it. Randy, you and I had talked, we did a little iced tea session together, and we had talked to Mike Sharp about what was it like when he quit his job and how exciting it was for him. And I remember leaving that Social Security office, and everybody in the world's like, man, how do you feel? I was exhilarated. It was exciting. Now I had a $24 a month water bill. I didn't know how I was going to pay. A $45 a month electric bill. My food budget was like $175 a month. Love to go back to those days. But I remember thinking, how am I going to do that? But how excited it was, how exciting the unknown was, and being on that journey. And I envy the people right now that are doing that right now, because this is an exhilarating time, but there's so much freedom in it. And here's the analogy I want to use with you guys. And I want you to go ahead and take a picture of this so I can actually look at you when I'm talking. But I want you to have a dual mindset. Now, one of the things you have to suffer with me all the time is sports analogies. So I'm going to talk to you about a 2-minute drill, and I'm going to talk to you about a marathon mentality. Let's talk about the 2-minute drill. And like I said, take a picture of this because this is going to leave the screen in a second here. I only have a few minutes with you. But man, when you're in football, it's a 60-minute game, and you're playing. Everybody's got, we all worked out. We all ran our sprints. We all lifted weights. We all went over all the plays all week long. And it comes down to it. You're down by 4. There's less than 2 minutes to play. You've got no timeouts. And something magic happens. This sense of urgency overtakes you. You get into the huddle, you're down by 4. There is no tomorrow. There is not another set of downs. And folks, when you go for it, when I made that decision to go for it, and I quit that check, and when you make your decision to go full time here and you quit that job, folks, you get an extra power. You get a 4th down. And so when you're in that huddle, man, everybody's a little more excited. All of a sudden the adrenaline starts to run. Everybody's got a different mindset, a different pace. Man, when you go to the huddle, there's no time to screw around. Every second is precious. Folks, that's where we're at today. It used to be you talk 18, 24, 36 months to go to RVP. Now you're talking 9 to 12. People go into $1 million ring in 36 months. This is the time to compress time frames. So you have to have a sense of urgency, but the freedom of the 4-down mentality. And so it's like never before. Now the marathon mentality, folks. Listen, I'll never forget. Hopefully that just go right back to Zoom for you guys. You can see my picture. Never forget the first time somebody said this is a marathon. So when you think about a marathon, I want you to think about something. I've had to experience this in several different things. I know that when I first got injured, it took me 48 months to learn how to tie my shoes again. It took me 24 months to get a spoon to my mouth to learn how to eat. I remember when I went to Invita, and I was with Mark and Sandy, and I had a 5-month protocol. And about 3 weeks into it, I started into what Mark and Sandy called the grind. The grind. I said, "What's that?" They go, "You're in a protocol and you're in the grind." So what is the grind in Primerica? It's the daily habits of setting appointments, making phone calls, follow up, doing all the things that you know are going to make you successful. So you have to have, if you have that marathon mentality, in football, we call that 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So it takes 10 yards to get a first down. If you know you're going to make 3 yards every single time you call a play, and you can't fail. So listen, here's the thing. Having a sense of urgency with a 2-minute drill type of attitude of saying, there is no tomorrow. I can't do this tomorrow instead. I can't wait till tomorrow to be successful. I can't put it off. And you set the tone. You're the quarterback for your team, so you're setting that tone and that pace. And all of a sudden, everybody starts rallying around you. That's what Gforce has done. Man, you look at the numbers and how we've compressed them. Randy keeps talking about how the numbers keep compressing year after year, year over year, and that's that 2-minute drill. But the other side of the fence is this: you can't put a time limit on your success. You have to have a marathon mentality that this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and every single day I'm in the grind right now until I get where I want to be. And it doesn't matter where you are. I made 650 last year, but I'm still every single day I've got to get up with the grind mentality of what do I have to do today to be successful tomorrow. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I know that you've heard everything you need to hear about what books to read, what kind of an attitude to have, but I just need you to know this: you are in charge of your time and how you see it. If you don't have a sense of urgency, you can screw around like I did the first 8 or 10 years and think that I'll just do it tomorrow and it'll happen for me. There's never been a time like today to get after it. So right now, I want to go ahead and introduce Mike Gatto. Mike, take it away.
Hey, thanks, David. Fantastic message today. Hey, guys, want to congratulate everyone today for the recognition and want to congratulate everybody for being on today. I just got a couple minutes with you, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. I think the message today has been really consistent. I just want to share. Let me see if I can just enlarge that for a second there. There we go. CCMP, clear, concise mental picture of what you want to accomplish. Some of the things that helped Sonia and I out over the years are, we answered the questions to why are you in Primerica? Why are we here? What do you want to be, do, or have? And we got really, really clear on what it is that Sonia and I wanted to accomplish in our life. Not what Dennis wanted, not what Mark wanted, not what Bob wanted, not what Roy wanted, what we wanted to accomplish in our life with our family. And I think the message today is you got to get really, really clear on that. And then you got to go to work on that vision every day. Every day you've got to get after it and be consistent with your vision, right? So your goals and vision probably require two things. Number one, that you need to make more money, right? I want to encourage you. I want to challenge you. When you start thinking about your goals and what you want to accomplish, don't succumb to a job income, right? Really, really go after what you really want in your life. And it probably requires you to make more money, right? Number two, it's going to require you to change, personally develop, right? And what's so fantastic, what Mark talked about earlier, I think I'm going to, kind of piggyback off him a bit, but there's 3 ways to make more money. Number one, sales, be a financial planner. Hey, I don't know who said it earlier, but you got to make money until you can stay in business, right? Number two, build a business, recruiting and team building. And number 3, which is the greatest way to do it, personally sell through field training and build a business. So a combination, both oars in the water, right? Number 1 and number 2, it's the best way to make more money. Second point, change, personal development. Let me give you some resources, okay? Number 1, leadership, John Maxwell. And this kind of goes with what Mark was talking about, right? When I got started, I was a forklift driver, driving in a warehouse, stacking boxes, right? Loading trucks. And I never forget, I grew up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and there'd be trucks coming in from British Columbia with, BC apples and all that kind of stuff. And I'd be like, man, it'd be so awesome to live in Vancouver one day. Well, there's a vision for your life. We live in Vancouver. So let me give you a couple nuggets. Start with develop the leader within you, then move to developing the leaders around you. And my all-time favorite in this book here was one of the reasons, we started to grow, the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And you know what's so fantastic? It's all on YouTube. Bob Graham talked about the old school and the new school. Back in the old days, we had to drive to see this stuff. We had to pay money to see John Maxwell. Now it's all online, right? It's all there for you. Number 2, personal growth, Jim Rohn. I would encourage you to look at how to have your best life ever. See, for things to get better, you must get better. And in conclusion, guys, here's a couple other ones. Sales, how to Tom Hopkins, How to Master the Art of Sales, How to Master the Art of Selling. I want to encourage you to look at that. And the last point here I wanted to make was Randy Godfrey's recruiting clinic. I remember when I was in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Sonia and I, and Randy, I don't know if you remember this, but Randy and Marcy came to Thunder Bay, and Randy had, these professionally done booklets, and he was going to talk about the psychology of recruiting and how recruiting is a sales process, and why to recruit. It's a better way to sell. And I thought, man, I never heard of this stuff ever, right? And he said this: Primerica is a self-development program with a high compensation package attached to the tail end. And you've got to get better for things to get better, get clear on what it is you want to accomplish. And let me leave you with this, right? Elon Musk, a few days back on Clubhouse, question asked, what words of encouragement would you give an entrepreneur? He answered, if you need words of encouragement, don't become an entrepreneur. And let me Primericize that. If we have to constantly pump you up on your goals and your goals and vision are not big enough, I want to encourage you to revisit that and really get after it. Let me stop sharing. With that, I want to wrap up, and I want to introduce our next speaker, the great SNSD Kim Carver. Take it away, Kim.
Thank you, Mike. It's so exciting to get to be on this today. I want to share with you what I consider to be one of the great fundamentals of our business, and that's just sharing your personal story. I think sometimes we forget that our personal story is our bullet. It's what really pierces the heart. Today, we've heard several people share their personal story. We just heard Mike share his story about being a former forklift driver. We heard Sam Shepard talk about when he was loading airplanes as a baggage handler. We heard Craig Morgan talk about how he brought in several people that ultimately led him to find Dennis Bryant. The power of your personal story is so powerful. In a court of law, they look for credible evidence. And when you're giving your personal story to someone, that is credible evidence. I want to give you just a few keys on how you can share your personal story in a credible way, so that whether you're looking to introduce your leader, whether you're looking to get an appointment, whether you're looking to share a How Money Works brochure or a video, if you'll share your personal story, it's irrefutable. It is unbelievable. Let me share with you 3 phrases you can use to tell your personal story. The first one is I was. Okay, I could start off and say that I was an accountant in Central Texas doing bookkeeping and tax returns. Okay, the second phrase is I am. I am now a district leader, and I earned $1,000 last month in my business. And the third phrase is I am going to. You could say I'm going to open my office in 18 months, and I'm going to open it over on Sims and Broadway, wherever you've decided to open your office. When you tell people where you were, it's like you were an eyewitness to the scene, to whatever happened. You tell them where you are now. You tell them wherever that is. Okay, maybe you're a district leader. Maybe you were in debt, 17 or 20 or 30,000 credit card debt, but now you're on track to be debt free in 7 years because of your financial game plan. And then you end up by saying, I am going to be debt free and financially independent and have $4.3 million, my financial independence number, by 2031, in just 10 years. When you share your personal story, it captures people's hearts. All of us have heard David Lipsett tell his story about overcoming insurmountable odds to become the great leader he is. His story is more powerful than any brochure, any video, anything else you could possibly share to capture people's hearts. Don't get too fancy. Brochures don't win for you. Tools don't win for you. What wins is the passion of your personal story. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to a guy that was #1 in 2 categories. recruiting and premium, and he's producing leaders like crazy. Take it away, Reggie.
Man, thank you so much. So grateful to be here on this afternoon. What's up, Gforce family? Coach Reggie Reed here. Look, I've only got a few minutes, so I'm gonna get straight to it. Listen, TVC, we had a phenomenal year, just like the rest of the Gforce hierarchy. You got to see it in the numbers, second, third, fourth diamond, going flat from a barely doing a 10 by 10 base shop to averaging over almost 50 by 50, incredible. But today's message is a message that I've been sharing with my team recently. God told me, hey, listen, we had a phenomenal year, but God literally told me this, guys and gals, we can't look back. Now, look, whether 2020 was a record-breaking year, whether it was a flat year, doesn't matter. The message that God has for you is you can't look back. This is what I genuinely believe. I believe that if you're not excited, and I mean over the moon, actively engaged in the process of recruiting and building a massive hierarchy, then you're subconsciously telling God, yourself, your team, and the Primerica world, you know what? I believe that my greater years are my yesteryears. I believe those are my greater years, right? And that my current, my present, and my future isn't strong enough to make my dreams a reality. But the man upstairs wanted me to share something with y'all today. Don't look back. Look, but coach, you don't understand. Coach, you don't understand. I had my best recruit. I had my best recruit last year. We killed it. We crushed it. Man, it was nuts, coach. I know. Hey, that was your best recruit for yesteryear, but that's not your best recruit for tomorrow. Don't look back. But coach, you don't understand, coach. Coach, I just promoted a regional vice president. My base shop's a little flat. We're a little flat right now, right? We're still trying to get this thing going. Hey, they were the best RVP promotion for yesteryear, but they're not the best RVP promotion for tomorrow. Don't look back. Coach, you don't understand, coach. I had a massive trade. I had a massive rollover. It was crazy. It was nuts, right? Hey, that was great. It was massive, wonderful. That was great for yesteryear, but you have a bigger rollover coming for tomorrow. See, family, there's a very popular passage from the scripture that speaks about Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And I don't have time to break that down, but I just want to let me hit some synopsis with you real quick. God sent a messenger to Lot and his family and said that the area was going to have imminent destruction. All right, listen, the whole area was going to literally be destroyed. And God gave very specific instructions. He said, leave immediately. Do not look back. Listen, get through, do not stop in the plains and flee to the mountains. And so the scripture goes on to say that Lot and his family, they fled. And as they were leaving the plains, right, Lot's wife looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt, right? Now, after being here for 6 years, family, here's one thing that I know about Primericans. And listen, because this used to be my story. Man, listen, I had that look back spirit. And there was a false notion that I lived by. If I could just get if I can get one recruit, then it's done, it's set, it's over. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything else. Family, that's false. What I've recently been learning is that it's not you're one recruit away from the explosion. You're one recruit away from the next explosion. And I feel like Sam Shepard did such a phenomenal job still running a massive, nearly 100 by 100 base shop, 37 years in the business, demonstrating that point. Family, we can't worry about yesteryear. We got to be grateful for yesteryear, whether you felt it was great or not. We've got to be focused on tomorrow. We got to go get big now. You've got to go beat your recruiting numbers and your premium numbers from last year. That's yesteryear. That's yesterday's gifts. That's yesterday's promises. We got to move on, right? See, look, it's not one recruit from an explosion. It's one recruit from the next explosion. It's a critical difference. You've got to stay in a posture of building, and you got to stay in a posture of getting free until God takes you home, right? See, the angels told Lot's family to leave quickly and don't turn away. In other words, he said, look, Sodom and Gomorrah is no longer a part of your story. I have something bigger and something better for you, right? Don't look back. You can't change your past. All you can do is focus on your present and on your future. Yeah, I know you had some phenomenal recruits last year, but hey, that was last year. I promise you, God's got some great recruits for you this year. But if you and I don't wake up every day with an eagerness and a hunger to find that blessing, we're going to miss it, family. I know you had an explosion last year, but listen, God's got a phenomenal explosion for you this year. We've got to go get it. We've got to go with reckless abandon and make it happen. I know chargebacks, right? Chargeback. Hey, chargebacks, I get it. Hey, we all deal with chargebacks, but chargebacks are a part of your past. You and I got to go find the next explosion, right? And we got to go charge back into the front lines of this thing, in the front lines of the crusade, and go share the daggum deal so that we can go change enough people's life. And then we won't even be talking about chargebacks. Listen, family. But coach, man, this all sounds great. I'm gonna share a screen with you here. Coach, all of this sounds wonderful. All of this sounds great. But coach, how do I know I'm gonna be successful? Well, here's what I can tell you. If you don't leave, if you don't move forward, you'll never be successful. Let me switch the screen here. You'll never be successful. If you don't leave the land of familiarity, if you don't leave the land of the past, you'll never be successful. The pillar of salt represent three things to me when it comes to Primerica, because some of you got to get unstuck this year. You've got to get out of yesteryear, and you've got to move into today and tomorrow. Three things that the pillar of salt represent. One, a lack of coachability. God gave very specific instructions. Lot's wife decided not to follow them. See, in Primerica, the number one reason why people aren't successful is because they lack coachability. You might have been coachable enough to go district, but the question is, are you coachable enough to go regional? And then you might have been coachable enough to go regional, but now the question is, are you coachable enough to go regional vice president? And you may have been coachable enough to go regional vice president, but now are you coachable enough to go senior vice president, national sales director, and ultimately senior national sales director? The second pillar is this: a lack of faith. Right? Lot's wife believed her best years were in a place that God said is no longer good enough. And she didn't have enough faith and courage, right, to follow through on what God said. In Primerica, you have to have faith in your coaches. You got to have faith in leadership. Ultimately, you got to ultimately have faith in the company and God, right, to know that this is where God brought you. The decade of dominance is your chance to live your best life. Right? We're in the second chapter of this daggum thing. We got 9.5 more chapters left, and then this thing is closed out. It's done, right? Or 8.5. Last thing I got for you: lack of vision. Lack of vision. See, Lot's wife didn't understand that 2020 and yesteryear wasn't big enough, and it lacked the capacity to hold her blessings from 2020, lacked the capacity to hold her blessings of 2021 in the years to come. God has to move you out of your comfort zone. Some of y'all are going to have some breakout years this year because you're going to move out of the plains and you're going to move into the treacherous mountains. It's a difficult terrain, but when you get to the top of that mountain, baby, you're going to have a clear vision. And I promise you, this business is going to seem completely different to you, but you've got to move out of your comfort zone, get out of the plains, and don't look back. Listen, the years ahead of you you'll find your best recruits. You're going to have your greatest milestones. I promise you, but you can't look back. Pray that this bless somebody. Randy and Marcy, thank you so much for allowing us to speak and represent here on Team Gforce. Love you all. Peace out.
Reggie Reed, thank you so much. That was such a powerful, powerful teaching. Folks, I hope you've been listening to all the speakers. They've just given you such incredible just points that lead you to discover your own path, vision. I hope they've instilled hope and opportunity in your heart so you can get after it. This is not easy. This is not an easy path, and we'll never promise that to you, but we will promise you it'll be worth it. And Reggie, I love your the teaching there, and it reminded me right now I'm going through the book of Philippians too, and I was listening to you, and all of a sudden I heard, out of the mouth of the Apostle Paul, he says to the Christians there, he says, "But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind, straining towards what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus." I mean, he's admonishing us to do just what you taught, Reggie. Forget what is behind. Strain forward to what is ahead. And that's such a great principle. Thank you so much. Folks, Primerica is such a unique company. We are truly the disrupting force in the largest industry in the world. If you want to be anywhere that could get you financially free, you better be a part of something that's changing and rearranging and disrupting an industry that desperately has needed it. You're not going to have a lot of people, with Merrill Lynch and some of these insurance companies that get on with a bunch of T-shirts and teams and talk like that, But yet that's why we're whipping them. We're doing something different, unique, just like what Mark said at the beginning. But I really believe one of the most unique features that we have in this company is the organization that we've put together over the years called Partnership, is that this company embraces both husband and wife, many times daughters, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, whatever, that partnership coming together to work as one towards a common goal. There's not another company, in my opinion, that embraces partnership like this does. I believe that's our secret weapon. And I want to close out this session, I believe, with something that I think is going to change you, and especially for your new people, to embrace partnership, to embrace coming together to do something unique. I have the greatest life partner a man could ever hope for in Marcy. We've been married over 43 years now. 44, Marcy just yelled at me. 44 years now. Every year gets faster and faster, honey. And I mean, 3 great kids, 9 incredible grandkids, and we've been able to work this together and build this together. We're enjoying our time now more than ever in our lives. And it really is because we have found something common in our work to work towards. We've been doing it together, and I hope that you choose to do that too. Help me welcome my partner and the lead partner in Gforce, Marcy Godfrey. Marcy, come on up, sweetheart.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have to correct him a lot. It just, as we get older, it's happening more and more where the correcting, and of course it goes both ways. Our joke is it now takes 2 brains to do what it used to take 1 brain to do. So that's kind of a perspective on a lot of things that y'all will see as you live on this planet a little bit longer. But, we've been blessed now with a little over 41 years in this company. And some of y'all may know that February is a big month for Primerica because our company was founded in Primerica. So this is our 44th anniversary for our company. So Randy came into this company when the company was about 2.5 years old in late 1979. And he was a man on a mission. And he had gone through several jobs since we'd gotten out of graduate school. We'd been married for about not quite 3 years at that point, and he was trying to find a niche, trying to find something, but he figured out real quickly he was not a good employee, and so he was trying to find something that he could do on his own. And when this company presented him with an opportunity, he grabbed hold of it. And what I didn't understand is that he was really serious about it because he had had several other opportunities over the course of about 1.5 years that I didn't feel like he had taken full advantage of. And so years and years ago, I would look back and say, people would say, well, we love to hear your story. And the reason that people would love to hear our story is because we started out going in very different directions. And so we were not a great partnership to follow initially because I was going one direction, Randy was going another, and we did not look like we were headed in the same direction. But something happened about 6 or 7 months into our time with this company, and Randy finally kind of got my attention. I did not want to hear anything about it. I didn't want to know anything about it. And so I was just determined to keep going and hoping it would just go away if I ignored it long enough. Well, that didn't go very well because Randy was doing really well in this company. And he was changed. He made so many changes in those early months, and he was doing all the things that I had challenged him to do, but he was actually doing them with this company that I didn't know anything about. And what we did, I was just clueless at that point. And finally, after about 6 or 7 months in the business, Randy got my attention enough to get me to a meeting. And I do believe it was probably one of the first partner meetings ever. It was in a now defunct hotel in Irving, Texas. And it was about 15 to 20, and partnership has changed so much through the years. But back then it was mostly wives sitting around trying to figure out, what their husbands had grabbed hold of. And the words that were said that day really changed my heart and changed my life. And I've always said that the two women that shared that day, great SNSD partners Stephanie Tuttle and Sarah Stewart, were the angels that God sent to change my hardened heart. And that really began, Randy and I, a time of working together in this business and working as a team, working as a partnership. Bill Arender said years ago we used to call ourselves spouses. And then when they all started making money, we became partners. Well, that's probably true to some extent. But we became partners at that point in this business, and how to develop and build a team together and how to do it all together. And I look back now and think on what I would have missed out on if we had not come together. Partnership has changed a lot through the years, but I believe it's actually more important today than it was in 1979 or 80 when Randy and I came in the business, or 1988 or whatever year it was that Dennis and Sean and Mark and Sandy came in, and what great, incredible partner leaders they became, and the great examples. I learned so much from them. Partnership does look differently today than it did back then, but you know what? It is so important. And you have so many great opportunities here to do something special as a team. Whatever your partnership looks like. It doesn't have to look like Randy's and mine. It doesn't have to look like any other leader, but you've got great role models out there, and you can do something so unique and so special if you come together, play on your strengths, and figure out what works for you. And that may change through the years. It did for us. I ran our office for about 1.5 years right after Randy made regional vice president in 1981. And then it became time for me to be a stay-at-home mom. And Scott actually went into the office with me every day of the first 7 months of his life. And but it became apparent to us that we needed to kind of move on and go to a different looking partnership at that point. So being adaptable, but it's just so important because this is an emotional business. And I believe this is what Art and Angela Williams recognized very early on, is because of the emotion of this business. And it's emotional because it's built around people, and people are emotional. People are sometimes pretty weird and pretty ugly and pretty broken. I'm broken, you're broken, we're all broken. And as a result of that, there's a lot of emotion involved in this business. And it is so wonderful to have somebody who can shore you up when things aren't going well. Somebody who can come and rally around you when things aren't going well and can help you from an emotional standpoint to get through the tough times. And that's really what partnership is all about, is helping each other and building each other up at a time when things aren't necessarily going well. This is a story I have used a few times now, but I think it's really appropriate, is that there's a movie back in, I think it was my senior year in high school, called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And they made, back then it was, the actor was a guy named Gene Wilder, and he was a really, comedic kind of actor. And then later on, they did a version with Johnny Depp, and I think there have been a few other versions along the way. But there is, the story goes that there was an owner of a chocolate factory, Willy Wonka, and he's going to give out these golden tickets. 5 golden tickets are going to be in candy bars all over the world, and whoever finds these golden tickets get to come to his factory, and as a result of that, they're going to earn a life supply of candy. And so one by one, these tickets are found, and the 5th ticket is found by a little boy named Charlie. And all these people gather together at Willy Wonka's factory, and they start on this big tour. And one by one, the characters, the kids that have gotten these golden tickets, they kind of disappear. And what they don't understand is they disappear because they fail some kind of a character test. And the character tests are geared toward their weaknesses. And the fact is that one by one, they're gone. Now, they may still have gotten their lifetime supply of chocolate, I don't know, but last guy standing is this little boy named Charlie. And Charlie has a good heart. And he makes a mistake, and it looks like he might have lost his opportunity. But at the same time, he turns around and he comes back and he passes the ultimate character test that Willy Wonka has designed for him. And as a result of that, he's not only going to get a lifetime supply of chocolate, but he is going to inherit this very, very thriving business, the chocolate factory. And it's because he passed a character test. Well, I want to tell you something. This business is going to test your character over and over again. And those that win in this business are going to have to change and develop. It is like we learned just a little while ago, it's a personal development program with a high compensation package at the tail end. And you have an opportunity here to do something really rich and fulfilling with your life because we invest in people. We don't invest just in the market. We do that, and we do all the right things for people. We invest in people's lives, whether they're our clients, whether they're our recruits. We do we're constantly doing things that will take advantage of ways that we can pour into people's lives here. And it is a very unique company because of that. You know, it says, Randy and I didn't coordinate this, but it says, the Apostle Paul says in Philippians 2:3-8, do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind regard one another is more important than yourselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others. Have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in Christ Jesus, who, although he existed in the form of God, did not regard equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself, taking the form of a bondservant and being made in the likeness of men, being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. You have an opportunity here to do something rich and wonderful with your life. And as a partnership, you have an opportunity to do something jointly together. I don't think there's another company like this. I know there's not. And I just want to assure each of you that if you pass the character test, you have been given the golden ticket. So I want each of you to take advantage of it, and you will reap lifetimes of rewards, and you will have so many people who look to you and say, thank you for changing my life. God bless you all. Ooh. This big old heavy ring, man.
You did good. All right. Listen, Marcy, where are we ready to go to now?
We're ready to do future RVP's cash flow.
Yes.
Cash flow, and that's what it's all about.
And
right?
you know what? I didn't know you're going to start quoting from Philippians 2.
Well, I know. So I said we didn't coordinate that.
But Philippians 2, one of my favorite leadership passages, you know, is that what I love is we can be Christ-like, looking out for others, always be other-focused, other-focused, and not self-focused. And by doing that through servant leadership, you can build a great business here. So anyway, and
I love a quote from Ben Franklin that said, "A man wrapped up in himself is a very small package."
Very good.
Yeah,
wow, you surprised me after 44 years.
I love
it is
surprising
44,
you.
right?
It was 44 last December.
Just want to make sure I get that right. Okay, good. Hey, listen, folks, we're going to wrap this thing up. It has been a fabulous, fabulous day. I appreciate all these speakers. You're on time, precise, powerful messages. And folks, we have a record turnout right now. And we're going to speak about that in just a minute. But we want to, before we close out, we want to recognize our cash flow winners. We'll first start from, and I want you to pay attention, folks. I mean, these people that are mostly, future RVPs, they're mostly part-time. And many of them, from a part-time standpoint, are cash flowing $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 a month on a part-time basis. That's what you have to look forward to. So, Marcy, let's start. Let's introduce the crowd to our cash flow winners and
we
future
have
RVPs.
Cash flow on future RVPs. Number 25, Katie Pegg and Mike Woods. Number 24, Joe and Christine Rojas. 23, David and Rhonda Gradberg. 22, David Coey. 21, Roland Lopez Jr. and Ashley Howard. 20, Barbara and Charles, I always get y'all's name wrong, I'm sorry, Intimo, I think that's how you're actually supposed to pronounce it. Number 19, Esther and Arnold Garcia. Number 18, JC and Floyd Morris. Number 17, Carmen Perea. Number 16, Puspa and Scott Todd. Number 15, Mirza and Annalise Zukanovic.
You did that good,
I did it
Mars.
good,
That
didn't
was
I?
good.
14, Alan and Dawn Aykroyd. Number 13, Randy and Terry Reimer. Number 12, Bart and Aaron Vanucci. Number
Go Bart.
11, Jeremiah and Lily Drake.
Way to go, you guys. And here we go. Top 10. Number 10 is Tara and Sandy Blight. Number 9, Joanna and Lizeth Gomez. Number 8 is Graham and June Johnson. Number 7, Margie and Ember Akaya Navarro. I know, that's right. Thank you. Number 6, Andres and Douglas Rivas. Number 5 in cash flow, BJ Smithers. Number 4 is Samuel and Cassie Davis. Number 3, Andrea and Aaron Glazier. And then number 2 is Mike and Shelly Davidson. And there's only one number 1 over the last 90 days of competition. This couple has cash flowed $55,000 on their way to being an RVP. There's only one.
Number 1.
And the number 1 earner is Sish and Britt Rimson.
Woo! Awesome.
All right.
They've been getting some serious recognition.
Okay, now we're in the RVP category, folks. The head coaches. Let's see how they're doing.
Okay, so number 25 in the RVP cash flow and up, RVP and up cash flow category, Majid and Nada Dabla. Number 24, Steve and Robin Bentic. Number 23, Reggie and Trish Patrick.
Go Reggie.
Number 22.
Great story behind him.
Angie and Henry
Can't tell
Guerra.
it today, but woo.
Number 21, Luis and Alejandra Meir. Number 20, Sue and Jared Rogan.
Go Sue.
Number 19, Daryl and Tony Terry.
Hey, Tony.
18, Brad and Megan Stokey. Number 17, Pete and Nellie Tiarina.
Pete.
Number
Nelly.
16, Guy and Carmen Fedora.
Go, Guy.
Number 15, Vish and Kelly Prasad.
Yes.
14, John and Gail Ash. 13, Mario and Taz Hinojosa.
Yes.
12, Mike and Marnie Langrell. Number 11, Johnny and Nicole Birchfield. Johnny, I can't believe you're number 11.
Marcy, that's a coach him
Hey, I
up,
had to-
man.
I had to
Coach him
put
up.
a
Go
little
make-
fire,
Go
put a
make
little
some
fire
more
in
money,
his ear.
Birchfield. You only made $177,000 in the last 90 days, so you need to be better. That's what it takes to get in the top 10. Here we go. It took $193,000 over the last 90 days to make it in our top 10. So here we go. Number 10, SVP Jaime Quintanilla. Number 9, Reggie and Charity Reed. Way to go, Reg. Number 8, we have Roy and Janice Kern. Way to go, Roy and Jan. Proud of y'all. Number 7, Mike and Sonia Gatto. Number 6, David and Vanessa Lipset. $250,000 original code. Man. Number 5, NSD Craig and Gina Morgan. Number 4, Leviana Spillane. Congratulations, Levy. Number 3, Bob and Rhonda Graham. Awesome job, Bob. Number 2, we have the great Kim and Rhonda Carver, close to $300,000 over the last 90 days. Can you believe that? Okay, but there is only one
Number 1.
Our number 1 earner. Fabulous talk today. About to cross over 900 grand. Carver's about to cross over 700 grand. The Gforce movement is on the move. The great Carlos Gonzalez. Way to go, Carlos. Woo. Wow. Folks, we got some exciting things ahead of us, and I just want to close out with a couple things. First of all, we're going to recognize our top award winners in attendance. I'm going to call out the 3 top base shops as far as registration forms. They told me that they haven't sent in any fake registrations. That's great. I got a political comment there that I will not make. Anyway, so with that said, though, we are so proud. We help people to the honor system on this, and I know it's loaded. It's unbelievable what we've done. As I woke up this morning, we had close to 1,600 now people that have registered. Now, what I mean by that is those are registration forms, okay? Husband and wife are usually on that, right? So well over well over 2,000 people that have registered. But the Night Glass production crew said they pretty much have a formula on this. They're telling me that we have over 2,500 people that are watching this broadcast today. Folks, that's an absolute record. We need to get bigger and better every single time we do this, okay? And we're already started the next 90-day competition. We're going to start measuring February, March, and April, and we're going to come together again as a team. We're doing it right here out of the Night Glass Studios. I love it. Thank you to Jason and his team here. I love doing out of this studios. And we're going to come back again in May. We'll announce that time ASAP. But you start competing. It's February, March, and April to make it in the top 25, top 10, and start competing for registration forms too. We want attendance. The people who have the most people watching are the people going to be impacted the most. You ready? Here we go. It changed hands in the last 24 hours. Number 3 with 65 people registered, okay, for this group. And did we include a husband and wife on this? Okay, good, yeah.
So we pulled it.
We pulled it right off the forms. And so if the partner registered on that form, we counted them too, just to make sure you know that. And so number 3 was 65 people registered. The great Mark and Sandy Yazapovic. Way to go, Yazapovic!
Yes. Way to go, yes, team.
Number 2. Oh, do we have that? Let me see that. Let me have that. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. I did not know that, Darlene. We got it ready for today. Wow. Here we go. I didn't know we had it live, but we'd have it live. This is what you get.
You can have a lot of Coca-Cola in that thing, can't you?
Champagne, whatever. Okay, good. And so this is the trophy. We're going to send it to you, overnight it. Monday, you'll have it to keep, and we'll hand it out every 90 days, okay? Here we go. Number 2.
They don't get this.
No, number 2 doesn't. Only number 1, okay? Number 2 can get excited about going for it. But with 82 people registered for this event, Angie and Henry Guieta.
Angie and Henry.
And there is only one.
Number 1.
The number 1 brand new rookie RVPs. Listen to me. Had 107 people registered for this event. Unbelievable. The great Laura and Robert Valls, number 1. And you're going to get this. Meredith's going to send this overnight special delivery to you on Monday. Congratulations, Valls. So proud of you. And honey, could you just hold that?
I will be happy to.
Thank you.
I will exit stage left.
Gforce, this is it. We did it. We've come to the end only to begin. We got to close February out strong. We want to be a huge participant to the $1 billion cash flow mark that this company's going to hit at the end of March. Be a big part of that. Let's get out there, work harder than ever, contact harder than ever, reach out harder than ever. I want you to understand, I talked to you about that this could be a magic moment for you. This could have been today a magic moment, and it could have been a magic moment for the people you had on this team. I want you to internalize everything you've heard today. But most importantly, I want you to pay attention right now, not to what you've heard, but I want you to pay attention to how you feel right now. I hope that you have this great feeling of hope, a great feeling of you can get out there and get free, live a free life. And you found the avenue where you can do that. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, but it's going to be worth it. You know, I've taught my people a long, long time. If you just took these two principles and combined them together, there's nothing you can't do. And if you do this in the Primerica umbrella, in the Primerica platform, you're going to accomplish things you never dreamed possible. These are the attitudes that I've learned over my years that I've been practicing. Many of our great leaders you heard from, they practice this too. They first and foremost, they decided once they found out the truth in this and the evidence of it, that they were going to adopt a refuse to quit attitude. Refuse to quit. There's going to be many, many times where you want to, but you got to refuse that. You've got to reject that, and you take that next step no matter what it looks like in front of you right now. So you take a refuse to quit attitude and you combine that with a do whatever it takes attitude. Got a lot of people say, I'm not going to quit, I'm not going to quit. Yeah, well, you better start doing something with it too, or you won't get anywhere. So you got to combine a refuse to quit attitude with a do whatever it takes attitude, and there's nothing you can't handle. Folks, I want you to do something for me right now. Night Glass was so great doing this for us, this production, and we are now we have our own very own YouTube channel. And that's the channel that you dialed into today. That's the link that you used to get on this broadcast. So Gforce now we have our own YouTube channel, the Gforce Movement. If you go on there right now and you see that red button that says subscribe, I want you to hit that red button right now. And once you subscribe, we're going to be adding content on this YouTube channel over and over and over again. There's things we got in store for you for Gforce this year. You've heard Mike Gatto and Dennis Viant, some other people talk about this recruiting clinic that we've been teaching for years and years and years. I'm actually going to produce a 4-part series on that. It's going to be an updated version of it. And I'm going to do a 4-part series on that. And we're going to teach y'all exactly what I've learned over my 41 years in this business on what it takes to recruit, how to recruit, why you want to recruit in the first place, and where recruiting leads you. Folks, there's nothing like it. So we're going to do that. I'm talking to Marcy right now about putting together our own Gforce partnership webinar that's dedicated only to partnership. One Saturday for a few hours, we're going to get together and talk a lot about that. Content's going to be on there all the time, so you got to get ready. And so register, sign up, I don't know what you call it, subscribe, thank you very much. Subscribe to it, and that's going to be something special too. And so we got a lot in store for us this year, folks, as we work like crazy, get bigger, get better, as eventually in 2022, that summer, we come together again live, together, in person, as the Gforce movement right there in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I got one verse I want to leave you with, and I want you to apply this in your life and apply it to your life in Primerica. We'll get back to the Apostle Paul again, Mars, but he talks about it in Galatians 6:9. He says, do not grow weary in doing good. Don't grow weary in doing good. That's what we do here, folks. You can't get tired of that. He says, for at the proper time, you will reap a harvest. How are you going to reap that harvest? If you do not give up. Don't you give up. You don't give up now. You get fired up, okay? God bless you, Gforce. Thank you, leadership. We got a great, great month ahead of us and a great year ahead of us. I love you. Let's go win. Thank you. We're coming together again, bigger and stronger.